I think my initial initiative was even more poor than right now. I think my last time around I had like a natural one or something.
It's a net game.
I think it was going last.
Indeed.
Not really.
All right, Ross.
At
Chill
least.
out.
Not a net game for me.
It's
It
a
ain't
net-
net game.
I'm gonna net gain all of you. Nets are. I don't know where I'm going with that joke, but it's time for some. It's time for Spoopy Kingmaker. Be quiet. Thank you. I don't know where I was going with that either, but time for that weekly super spooky game. We will probably hold the in character for after the combat that's presently combating, but I will say Ross and Jeff and Robin and Emmy, thank you all for your support. Emmy, I've been told by the powers that be, Lucia, that I'm supposed to say this every time I talk to you, so I'm going to do it on the internet, so that way it can, like, people can in the comments below help support this. But move to Kansas City. You'll have an auto friend group, the cost of living is cheaper, and we're objectively cool people. That's all you needed, and thank you for your support. Sven and Chewy is his name. I couldn't think of his damn name. Chewy will be a little late. Sven is fast asleep because school is hard. I will be playing them for today, but that's neither here nor there. First, everybody who is up. Tuxie, you appear in the square that you're in on the board. I did move everyone, didn't I? Yes, I did. Dope. And if you've got Knowledge Nature Bard, you are welcome to roll it.
Is that for everybody or just the bard?
Just the Bard. Just the one who has not been exposed to anything yet.
Believe it or not, I don't have any ranks in it.
Well, you can make it untrained.
Any of my knowledges.
Did your archetype replace Well-Versed, I think it's called?
Yes.
Oh, well, never mind. You can't make that untrained. You see it's about the size of a particularly large rat or dog. It's hard to say. You're still feeling a little from very clearly a human-sized amount of drug to knock you out in your tiny kobold body. You make your way back from the caravan, summoned monsters and ponies and things, to the ford across the Thorn River, and you see this little thing come running and like dive into what looks, smells, and sounds like just a giant bag of exploded gore. It begins rolling around in it like a dog in mud. A bit of, you're not sure what part of the body it is, gets kicked up, and it like jumps up and starts tearing it apart and carrying on. But that's not important. What's important right now is it's Devin's turn. Oh, also, Tuxie hears the sound of someone falling in a hole and saying "ow." Really? No, excuse me. That's a poor flavor dice. Tuxie arrives just in time to see Vin willingly jumping into the pit trap and then saying "ow" of his own volition. He did that to himself.
Wow.
Also out of range of the mage's Featherfall.
I'm just waiting for the salt from Ross, but he's taking this so well, or is AFK at the moment. But anyway, Jeff.
I'm just, I'm not AFK.
Sulking in the corner.
Rolling up his next character in the corner. Jeff, you're on.
And at the moment, kind of dying in the corner. I think it's the more appropriate
How many eagles out? They have one eagle out already?
Yes.
All right, let's get another one.
Okay.
And another one.
Another Jubilost appears on the
Here's
battlefield.
another cat.
Anything else?
I'll have them. So there's two of them now. They're in the holes. I'll get them to attack. So Eagle 1, full round attack. So Talon. Do those hit?
Yeah, one sec. I'm both opening up the next thing and like I want to make sure your mic is off before I start just like screaming into the oblivion here. Yes, indeed. What kind of damage does an eagle do?
Well, the rules are
Slashing for the talons, then piercing for the bite.
Okay, fair enough. That's important. The eagle goes tearing in. Vin, you see this thing dive down and latch onto the thing that's attacking you, and indeed the flesh is stripped away.
Eagle 2.
Unfortunately, none of those would connect.
And I'll just hang back and look pretty.
As you
That's
do.
what we can do best.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, this
Nobles!
Nobles! Alrighty. Meanwhile, this zombie is just gonna... I don't need to have friends to play D&D. I'm just gonna roll dice at myself. It's not a very smart boy. The 3 corpses of the dwarves animated undeath. This one stumbles towards the carcass eater and probably just slides in its own gore, basically. It is rapidly joined. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35, 10, 15, 20, 25. Can't quite make it, but this little guy just comes sprinting over. Meanwhile, 5-foot step forward. And now I really am just playing D&D with myself. This one stands up and attacks Trazen with 17 to hit. And I gotta
Trazen the Infinite!
Trazen the Infinite! Why aren't you here? Why are you making Tommy do all the hard work? That does indeed hit. I'm gonna kill Trazen. I like Sven. We worked so hard on this character concept. He was really impressed and happy with it, and that in turn made me happy. Actually, I lied. It was staggered. That attack never happened. Phew. All I can do, a zombie is staggered. Like,
I just noticed that you haven't replaced his new artwork with his token yet.
Well, good. If he's about to die to zombies, I don't want to. Okay. And then next, the guy who I'm smart enough to kind of. I think I'm going to just attack a whole bunch everywhere. First attack at Vin. Vin the staggered. And boom. 16, Vin.
How does staggered affect my AC?
I don't think it does, but I will double check.
Are you
If it
still
does-
prone, though?
No, he stood up. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I stood up, and that's why I got hit.
Ah, yes, indeed.
Ah, yeah, attack of opportunity.
And no,
for standing up.
17's my AC now.
And a staggered character, there is no debuff to your AC, so this thing, like, the world is going dark. Everything's kind of woozy. There's blood coming from somewhere, and the dwarf turns and says something in Dwarven and leans in to try to bite, but, like, slide. This is probably about the moment, actually, to slightly re-alter the flavor text. It leans in to try to bite, and that's when Devon's eagle claws into, like, its, like, shoulder muscles, and that causes it to flinch. And so instead, attacking an eagle,
Oh,
confirming.
nat 20. Nice.
Jeff, would a 10 confirm against one of your eagles?
Don't eagles have like 17 AC?
Yeah, I think it's 15.
Understood. So then, we're just punching him, and boom, bam, 5 points of damage. If the eagle lives, if you could make a fortitude save.
Okie doke. Damn it, where's that at on its character sheet? I'm sorry, I suck. Fuck it, let's just say it not to make things easy.
Okay. Well, I'll just roll a d20. And I assume its modifier is more than 1, so nothing bad happens there. And second attack, a 12 misses. And the vulture is the vulture. Vin, you're on.
Okay.
Survey says cast defensively, cure light wounds.
Can you cast defensively from a scroll?
There's a lot of full casters in the chat right now. Can you do that? I'm not sure.
The problem is that using a scroll in itself is an action that triggers an attack of opportunity.
There you go.
Because it's a magic completion item, which which using triggers attack of opportunity, so you would need to 5-foot step out of range before using it. I don't know if the pit is big enough for that.
It is. I mean, you could. No, there's no 5-foot step that is out of range of the trail gaunt, unfortunately.
All right. Well, then I shall. So it's a concentration check, right?
Yes.
Oh God, these aren't that great. And it's DC 15 plus 2 times the spell. No.
Yes. Assuming this is a spell on your spell list. If it's from a scroll, then there's a separate attack of opportunity on top of it.
No, it's from my own class.
Okay. So, yep. That's a D20 plus caster level plus mod, and you're shooting for, if it's a level 1 spell, a DC of 17.
Hooray!
Welcome to level 1, kids. And there it is.
Hooray!
Hey, you did it!
But what are you
Alright.
casting, though?
Cure light wounds.
Oh, fair enough. Make it so.
There's a decent delay from when I click something and it actually rolls.
Latency is as latency does, Mama used to say. And
8.
almost max. Nice.
Nice.
All right.
You could really use that, so that's great.
Yeah.
Just take a moment to recompose myself. Look over to Smiles. Smiles looks back at me. I just shake my head a bit. Smiles. And then Smiles tries to chomp. Yeah! Wow, this latency is really bad. What the heck?
You might
Do
refresh
the
the page.
bites. Do the bites, Smiles. Do
Yum,
the
yum, yum.
bites.
Yum, 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 yum.
I mean, this amps up the suspense.
Yeah. We just sit here. I need to... If I had more time to edit these, I'd put drum rolls in that
Oh.
hits.
21 to hit? Okay. So then he will try to trip the thing.
What kind of damage is it, really quickly?
That's it's a bite, so it's like piercing and slashing.
Okay.
Every turn.
Got it.
Bludgeon. As far as I'm aware, the natural attacks are like all 3 at once.
I believe bites are all 3. It's been a little while, but I'm like 90%.
Yeah.
Sure. If you
So-
have teeth and can shake. But do I get tripped? I do not get... Well, I'll go back and double check it. Actually, I do. That is more than enough. Smiles comes in, bites, and down it goes.
Take that, zombie.
Nice! Then was the story of Ragnar the Red. I'm gonna look at his spell list. It's not the
The
best.
spell list again would have kept the rhyme going.
Thank you. Thank you, Ross. I think he's just gonna charge the zombie here. Something, Torag. Something, hit you with a hammer. Ooh, I've got real bad latency, too. This might roll twice. Okay, never mind. I didn't have latency. I just misclicked. And coming in, swinging the hammer. A swing, about a swing is this man's, and he hits, and he does... Oh, I did click it twice. Well, the first one was better. For 3 points of damage, which is not enough to really do much of anything. Everyone who's not in the pit sees Ragnar run up, swinging his hammer, and the hammer connects with the dwarf's rib cage, and you hear the sound of ribs cracking, like, underneath the force of the blow. But the zombie doesn't seem to really much care. Praise on the Infinite is not how... I'm gonna move 5 feet. 10 feet. Move there. And what can I cast? What do I have? I play wizards. I know how wizards work. I'm a wizard. And there's no...
Well, he probably has stuff like Power, Wet Pain, Disrupt, Undead.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna yoink a Disrupt Undead at the thing attacking Ragnar the Red. Something, trace on the Infinite, cast the spell. There is a lot of latency. Get your act together, roll 20. I guess while we're waiting and this is slowly trying to tick up, if anyone would like to talk about how their day was, we've got time, clearly. Meanwhile, you can check us out playing Rapana Thuck starting next Monday here on the channel. I'm going to kill a lot of people. I'm going to kill so many people.
I believe you meant to say rabbit the fuck.
Rabbit the fuck! Oh my god. I'm going to refresh myself. Let's see if everyone gets to watch the loading screen, because I am dragging hard and I don't know why.
Ah, there we go. Now it showed
yeah.
up.
Literally, that is he would have a 3 over touch, and I guess I won't refresh the page? Question mark. It closed everything, but didn't refresh it. Okay, so Trazen steps back and snaps his fingers, and a burst of light bursts forward. Unfortunately, he can't quite get the range right, and he does a heckin' miss. I'm gonna not pop out those character sheets and see if that's helpful. Tuxie!
Yes?
You're on.
Oh, wonderful. Reset the zoom and... That looks like an ally. That looks like an ally. I don't know about that one.
Those are wild animals.
Oh, fun.
It's presently sprinting with no real regard for anything towards this, like, sack of grossness. Over here, this zombie and this one that looks a lot like it are back and forth fighting.
So they're zombies.
Yes.
Yep.
And I take it the dwarves are our friends?
They are the
Maybe.
zombies.
Zombie.
They are the zombies.
Zombie.
Yes.
Zombie. Rat dog that likes to eat carrion. Rat dog that likes to eat carrion. And 4 vultures.
And
Got it.
whatever the thing is down in the pit. Well, Tootsie might not be able to see that, I guess.
Right.
So that one's sprinting towards Gore, which means it's probably going to get into a fight with him again. So what about that?
Those
That's
are
a vulture.
Yep, 4 vultures are. They were posted. Well, they weren't posted in the tree. You can probably see as they're looking around bits of blood and gore drop from their beaks, and also all of the dwarf zombies have some like bits and pieces missing from them, where clearly the carrion animals were feeding on them. Now that there's been a fight, they've basically just flown out of the way to wait for more food, more or less.
Gotcha. All right. I think I will mock this dwarf right there. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries.
Classic. Okay, fair enough. And I will try a fort save such as I can. Let's see here.
Oh, that was such bad damage.
Indeed. Zambo. Gonna roll that fort save. 1d20 plus that. Boom. Bits of it get curse bloated.
It's dazed.
Dazed for a round, I believe? Yes.
Yep, 1 round.
Nice. Alrighty. Anything else?
That would be it.
And it goes on to Elric.
Alright. Oh, that zombie seems to be busy. Those seem to be busy as well. I think I will drop sleep spells about here to hit those 2 zombies without hitting my allies.
Okay. Sounds good. And we will do that will save. What's my DC?
So let me click the spell.
DC 16. Alrighty. the one that's not fighting yet. And the one that is.
Jeez. Goddamn zombies.
The spell incants. You think maybe you might have got, if it was like a living humanoid, they might have gone down, but they mostly just kind of stumble, stagger.
I don't think they would have gone down when they were humans. I mean,
I'm flavor texting,
both
yes!
beat them on the dice alone. Jeez.
I did indeed.
Your zombies rolling waste well.
Well, you guys want to reroll zombies? You can play zombies in Kingmaker. Kingmaker, but we're all zombies. Anything else?
Oh. I think I'm staying where I'm at. I'm feeling safe where I'm at.
And then I will shamble towards Ragnar the Red. And I'm staggered, so I don't have an attack this round. The Carcass Eater is not happy with the fact that the carcass hit it, so it's going to turn an attack. And I have to read a 3.5 stat block. That's always a fun time. Yeah, that's not that bad. Never mind.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that different.
Grapple? What is grapple? How do we... nope. And it thinks about trying to bite the zombie. Rather, it just continues bathing in blood and gore. And Devin.
Okie doke. So I want to summon an eagle in front of me to protect me in case Rat Dog comes at me, and then have the other two attack.
You got it. She lost multiplies.
Remember, you get +4 since Smiles, you're knocked it prone.
Heckin' good doggo.
That means that
I'm really glad you talked me
actually
into an animal companion.
That's like the best part of a druid. Mirden won't have one on Sunday, and I'm still feeling a little naked about it. And maybe he does. I got like 3 days. I'll figure this out.
Yeah. Oh, shucks. I only got 3 days, right?
Heavy lies the ground, my friend. Okay, so
do all of these hit?
2 out of 3 of them did, and afterwards, it's still standing.
Eagle 2.
Yeah.
And 3 and 4, 7. So then plus bite. And I think that's not quite there now. Both of the eagles come down basically as soon as Smiles knocks the trail gaunt over. I keep saying what it is, but you don't notice. The eagles descend and begin scratching and tearing and gouging, and it tries its best to fight these things off. But at this point, like, the entire, like, the bone of the left arm is visible as that much skin and muscle have been shorn off. The eyes have been picked out. Throats are gone. If it was a humanoid, it'd be very dead at this point, but the will of the undead is strong. Anything else from Devin?
Set your ready action if the rat thing comes at me intimidating to have the eagle attack it. But other than that,
you got it. Alrighty, so we try to punch the thing and miss wild. This is just still more excited by far at the prospect of fresh meat. Technically, that provokes an attack of opportunity from the eagle, because I'm going to run through its start range.
Wait, that's an eagle?
Yes, it may look like a Jubilost Narthropple. Do not be confused. It is an eagle. It's the thing about freedom is freedom takes many forms here at BDG. Usually, whatever token I click on first.
Look. It's just a mini chimera, except instead of having the body of like a goat and a lion and all that, it has the body of an eagle with the head of a very strange halfling character from a recent RPG video game. Totally unrelated.
Alrighty, do I have pounce? I don't have pounce. I wish I had pounce. Why don't I have pounce? Just making sure.
Probably because they usually eat carcasses and don't hunt themselves.
Yeah, and they also roll really bad. Actually, they kind of play a little more like badgers. They have a weird, like, frenzy ability. I'm just not pulling it off. As this thing goes running, and it tries to jump on the dwarf, but nothing really comes of it. The thing skids short scenting too many scents. There's too many sights, sounds, smells. What's the fly speed of the vulture again? Pretty fast, right? Yeah, 50, sure. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 40, 50, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, we can... This vulture double moves over to where you can see the corpse of some kind of quadruped and no longer interested in eagles and freedoms. It goes and lands on that and begins doing a feast. Now I'm gonna attack Ragnar the Red and miss really bad. And I'm gonna... Do I attack while prone? I probably attack while prone. Yes. Yeah. We're just gonna full attack from the prone position, starting with Smiles. I'm a prone creature, therefore I have a...
I'm gonna be singing that in my sleep now.
Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Prone on melee, so it's basically just throwing a d20 at the board to try to attack Smiles, to try to attack Vin, to try to attack an eagle, all to no avail. As the eagles land on top of it and just kind of continue tearing it asunder. As that's happening, it tries to like lash its teeth out at Smiles, and Smiles can just kind of step out of the way. The claws feebly grasp at an eagle, but in doing so, like, the fingers break off. I like undead flavor text. It doesn't have to make sense. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And Vin, you're on.
All right.
While that's happening, I'm going to fly the vultures. The vultures all are going to double move over here.
All right. So add 4 to this to hit. Does an 11 hit?
Given that I am prone, yes.
Okay. So that's max damage.
And if you'd like to flavor it.
Finn just kind of like gets his heads together, looks over to Smiles. Smiles kind of like looks down at the thing, looks back up to him. Finn just looks to the thing, looks back to Smiles, and says, "It's your kill." And Smiles lunges for the throat and just rips the head off.
And the thing collapses.
Good boy, Smiles. And since he only... I'm gonna then... Can Smiles climb up outside of the hill, the pits, a bit like there?
Smiles can make a climb check to do so, yes. Actually, that's good enough. It's probably really awkward for a quadruped. A little bit of like bounce off an eagle, a little bit of like a wolf stands to full height, bites a root, pulls itself up, but that is over the DC, and out it comes. Nice.
Smiles is a very productive and very efficient doggo.
Yeah.
And then, is there any way like I can make like a running start or something to lower the DC for me to climb up?
Not really. You only have 5 feet of movement in any direction.
What's my climb? -3. Yeah, no. Well, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I'm gonna try and climb up over here.
Okay.
Probably not gonna make it. Didn't make it.
Indeed. You try to follow after him, but just mostly grab dirt and slide.
All right.
Anything else from you, buddy?
Mm-mm.
And then was the tale of old Ragnar the Red, who said, "Hail Torog!" and swung his warhammer. And hit, I think, right? The zombie doesn't have a hold. Unfortunately, not quite. He swings, and the zombie's able to duck out the way. Treason the Infinite is going to... it seems relatively safe. Treason is smart enough to know a zombie can't strategize. Takes a 5-foot step forward and basically is going to use the aid action to try to pull Vin out. Just you see a grayish hand reach down and just like motion for you to grab it. And Tuxie.
Tuxie will step forward and she's going to mock the dwarf again. "You know, those rat dogs smell better than you do."
I think that's my fort save. No, my fort save is actually is this. Fair enough. 3 more points of sonic damage.
And dazed.
And he's still oped. Okay, anything else?
That's it.
And it goes to Elric. The vultures continue chewing on the thing over there.
Alright. Well, the sleep thing didn't work. Let's try something else. I will point at this dwarf down here and speak an ancient word of pain.
Alrighty. And go ahead and roll the d6 then. For the next 13 rounds, for the next thrice over this combat.
Yep.
And boom, 3 points of damage. The dwarf continues or starts shaking and convulsing. Anything else?
Nope, I'm still fine where I am.
Alrighty. Well, I guess I'm gonna actually full attack with these things. +4, attacking a zombie with the 12, which does hit. And then the next attack, got 2 claws for a 17 and a... I'm just gonna remove this guy from the tracker now as this carrion eater, or carcass eater rather, finally gets himself together, jumps on top of the dwarf, and he collapses. Meat's back on the menu, boys. Okay. Now I'm gonna just keep swinging at Chewy. Oh man, oh man. Support us on Patreon to watch me attack players who don't show up. And miss wildly at the top of the round. Whoop. Bursting out from the logs. I just added their turns twice. I did not mean to do that. Oopsie poopsie. Bursting out from the logs, as Vin could have told you, are some more carrion eaters. And
Oh, jeez. A lot of them in here.
5, whoops, still on the wrong layer. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35. Runs up behind to try to bite. And does so. Now I need to actually see what my damage is. Not much. Not much, I'll tell you that. Looking for my ability scores. Okay, cool. Good enough. Convulsing with pain. And the carrion eater runs up, bites onto this thing, rolls percentage dice. You guys don't want it to be low. Yeah, low it was. As that happens, we'll say this one's gore bag is hanging a little closer to the bottom. 5, 10, and it pops. The little one is going to try its best to... No, you know, it's not going to try to save, is it? It tries to bite on and all the gore sprays out, and it probably just opens up its mouth and takes as much of it in as it can. That's all what she said. This one's gonna just keep eating the stuff. Vultures are eating that. You are gonna take a move action over here, and Devin.
All right, I will get everything in the hole is dead, so I'll get them to fly out and attack the 2 closest ones, or the 2 of them to attack the closest one.
Okay, that would be about like that. Okie dokie, at 10 wood, you're flanking, so it does hit and does do 4. And then if you could go ahead and roll for the second one, since unfortunately, and there it is. If you'd like to flavor it.
Just the majestic swoop in and fly by as the talons sort of come into an uppercut and bring them up into the air, and he flies with it and then drops it down. So it's not the fall that kills you, it's the landing and splatting on the...
Fair enough. Works for me. Anything else from you?
Nope, I got the one there who's still playing bodyguard, so he's good.
Alrighty. And 15, I'm sure, misses Ragnar. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Runs to get the foods. And Vin, you're on.
Stop hiding in that hole.
Vin continues to hide in the hole.
Oh, I was still muted. I said I'm going to try and climb out
So I
with
saw.
the help of Trazen. Yeah.
And even with the aid another, it's still not quite enough.
Oh. Well, Smiles is going to come over here and help Ragnar.
Okay.
Disky.
That does indeed connect. You want to roll the percentage dice, or should I?
You. But I'm going to go high.
You want it to be high. And it was high.
Ah.
Somehow by, I guess in the case of Smiles, just sheer luck he doesn't bite the gore bag. And... anything else from
Smiles
him?
is smart. Yeah, he's going to try and trip the asshole.
Oh, yes, of course.
16.
And down he goes, I'm sure. What's my... yeah, my CMD is not very much. Drops down. Boop. Now you're good. You're good. You're done and good.
Yep.
Trazen is still just hanging out, waiting to pull you up. And then Ragnar the Red gonna swing his hammer at this guy, make him dead. Good enough. We'll take it.
Yeah, especially now that he's prone. Should be even easier to hit.
You would think. You would
Oh,
think.
jeez. Yeah.
And Tuxi's up. At this point, this one has flown over here.
Tuxi is not quite sure what to do about these guys here, but there seems to be some action going on that way. So I suppose Tuxi will go 5, 10, 15, and swing her rapier.
Okay, works for me. And do you want to roll a percentage dice, or should I?
You can roll it low.
You want low.
Oh,
If you can
Very
make,
high.
yeah, if you can make a reflex save for me.
all right. There we go.
So Tuxi avoids it, but like as you go to stab in, you realize just under the frayed and sad beard of the Zombo Dwarfo, there's some kind of like balloon type thing, and when you stab, you hear a pop, and out sprays just blood, gore, organs, disgustingness. It smells horrible. You're able to dodge the brunt of the stuff. Nevertheless, you are still standing where it does not smell the best.
Oh, fun.
Anything else from you?
No, I think that's about it.
Alrighty. And boop, boop, and Elric's on.
Alright. I think I will use Disrupt Undead on the prone undead.
Okay.
Nope.
Big ol',
Too voted.
big ol' nope indeed. And Devin's on.
keep it up. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So eagles will attack the closest thing.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, that looks super dead.
Yeah, if you'd like to flavor it.
Same as before. Take them up, you put them down.
And so it was. We will turn off. We'll leave the initiative open in case we need it again. But right now, combat is over. The carrion eaters seem more than happy to just spin around in the gore and gorge themselves. And the floor is open.
Can I get out of the damn hole?
Can you make a climb check?
Oh my god.
Nope. Yep. Whoa. Okay, the one causes you to fall back in despite.
Oh, for the love of... I'm out. I'm out of it. I'm out of it.
And you see everything that's gone on.
Trixie prestidigitates her feet clean.
As you do.
Well...
Say, druid friend, are these harmless, or should we run away before they're done eating all the
corpse wraps?
bloody gore?
Corpse wrap. These, I point to one of the corpse wraps. Those guys. Yeah, they're harmless vermin.
Well, you say that, but they just tore apart a zombie by themselves.
Well, they're really into eating carrion. But seeing as I don't think any of you guys smell like carrion or covered in it, it should be fine. I just kind of like look at the nearest one and just kind of like look it up and down and go, yeah, no, fine. They're busy anyway with their current snack.
Hey,
Good.
what about
Just
the
making
vultures?
sure.
I saw them flying this way.
Did I see by any chance the like a glimpse of the body off in the distance?
There's definitely a wagon over there, and there's some kind of quadruped that was pulling it. It's hard to tell now with 6 vultures on top of it what that was, but it's there.
Probably a horse or donkey or something.
Yeah, it looks like some sort of pack animal that got killed.
I say we check it out.
Do we want to search this camp first?
I mean, I look over to the cleric of Torag. I think you have more than enough justification to request a few minutes to do as your culture requires for these gentlemen.
I'm trying to think how I want to role play, because he's a dwarf, and I want to get real stuck in that Gimli.
Well, he's also a cleric of Torag, too, so...
I'm going to say... Chewie is supposed to get here tonight, so I'm going to say he nods and just...
This is basically me just giving the GM an excuse to not have to roleplay him for a few minutes, as I'm basically saying, hey, go bury these guys.
Beautiful. You are the best banana. I used to think that song said, you know the one, you're the best around. I thought they were saying, you're the best banana for a really long time. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. Yeah, he's going to go off.
Still better than some of the mispronunciations I've heard in songs that I will not repeat on recording because they were really bad, and I always wondered why my middle school would play them in the proms and whatnot when I thought they had these really awful words in them.
Indeed, I don't know what Ragnar's last name is, but
well, he's sufficiently red right now.
Trazen's familiar, yeah. Ragnar the Red! And they go over here, and Trazen goes with him, and they talk about undeath and the things that have happened and all that were sad about it. And Torag blesses the day and all that stuff. And they're busy right now.
Smiles is wagging his tail very hard. Ben's gonna scratch him on the in between the ears and be like, "You did a great job today, Smiles."
He borks. As you get a little close to those carrion, or I keep screwing that up. As you get a little closer to those carcass eaters, the one in the square adjacent to Vin just kind of like looks up, and it's not quite a growl, not quite a like chittering hamster noise, somewhere caught in the middle.
I just kind of like look over at it, hold up my hand, kind of. I imagine as a druid, I would know that I could just like back up from them and be like, "Yo, I'm not interested."
Oh, wild empathy.
That's my. I wish I could use my diplomacy skill because I actually put things into making my diplomacy decent.
Yeah, that's literally what that is. You can use diplomacy on him.
But also, I
19.
think wild empathy boosts it further.
If it boosts it by my class level, then that'd be a 20.
So it looks up, cocks its head. You kind of like step back and then it just goes back to rolling around in the gore.
Yeah, no, those things won't bother us.
Alright. That's good, that's good. You know, this smells really pungent. Of not feeling well.
Yes, that's why I want to go check out the caravan. I feel like it might smell just a little bit better after all those things popped.
Hmm.
But yeah, any idea what happened to these guys? I mean, I doubt they turned into zombies by themselves, right?
I know I rolled survival earlier to see like if there were any tracks or anything around, and I don't remember getting anything.
Right.
And I'm pretty certain I rolled well too, so I'm just gonna look over and say I'm not certain. I didn't see any tracks, so, and considering the fact that they were turned into undead, I'm fairly certain it's nothing natural. So that's outside of my areas of expertise. And it seems as though the two that would be a bit better in understanding the nature are preoccupied.
Maybe it was something in their food?
I'll make a quick roll for Ragnar. Make a quick roll for Ragnar the Red, who looked up from his character sheet and said, well, I'm not quite sure what happened to him, but there's no onyx on the corpses, so I'm not thinking someone cast Animate Dead on him. Looks around, and certainly they'd need to be a little bit closer. Trazen nods, confused that suddenly Ragnar has become a big extrovert with a big booming dwarf voice. I don't know if Chewy's gonna go back and watch this, but you have to play that now. Sorry, buddy.
Either way, it wasn't... I'm not certain. I mean, are there types of undead that can propagate themselves similar to that of maggots or infested creatures?
Not that I'm aware of. Certainly speaking, if something that might be able to carry the disease had bit them, say, like a ghoul. If a mosquito had bitten a ghoul and then had that blood in the, and he begins, like, not understanding how mosquitoes work and, like, spinning his fingers together, like, you know, and then bites the dwarf. The dwarf could contract ghoul fever, but this was not a ghoul. I do not understand what it was at all. It's quite strange, really.
And then there was that thing down in the pit that was smart enough to lay a trap. I don't have any good answers for you, friends. At least not at this moment in time.
By the way, that thing in the pit seemed to be different from those things that we were fighting up here.
Ah, you know it was.
Maybe that was the cause?
Perhaps I'll make a knowledge, not nature, that'd be dumb. Perhaps I'll make a knowledge religion check to identify it. And I've got a 20, and Ragnar makes his
Doesn't
way.
Trazen also have a really good knowledge religion check?
So do I.
Knowledge all is a rampant thing in this party, indeed.
The only knowledge I have is nature.
I mean,
I have knowledge all, but no ranks in anything.
wizard, bard, summoner. Okay.
At least the druid's good with survival. I'm actually decent with diplomacy too, because I managed to take a trait to get that as a class skill.
As you do. Okay.
Right, yeah, that's good. Diplomacy.
So
Some charisma-based casters.
Ragnar makes his way over and looks down and sees this gross twitching. Its legs are mangled, but it still wears like its armor in life, like a really beat up suit of leather. He looks down and says, out of all the things, I guess I'm not surprised to see a trail gaunt this far away from the road. It's pretty interesting, actually. A trail gaunt, you see, is created anywhere where travelers
get lost in the woods.
Exactly.
I remember. You actually did tell me that, Tommy. I remember you telling me that.
I'm getting there. This one didn't quite know that. Legend told that the trail gaunt will rise from the remains of someone who dies lost in the woods, sometimes from exposure, sometimes from starvation, and then they come to haunt the travelers of the road, or in this case, perhaps, travelers of the ford. Certainly speaking, Vinkel, that was your name, yes?
Just Finn, friend.
Just Finn. How are your legs feeling?
Good.
Did you know they can stagger people from the pain when you get bitten or clawed by this thing, and you'll feel the pain of having walked for days and days on end?
Well then I guess I'm just used to that pain, friend.
And did you know that you, a humanoid creature, had you been killed by this thing, you'd have become a trail gaunt yourself at the next sunset, as long as your body was both unburied and not within line of sight of a well-maintained road. He looks around. Certainly speaking, you've got one of them here. Ain't no roads out here. But the burying part is strange.
Yeah, that fellow was buried. Did he cover himself up to try and capture us or something?
Sounds like you need to make like a survival check to look around the camp, or perhaps a sense motive. Get a hunch. I gotta get out of the Ragnar voice. I'm gonna be stuck in it for 3 hours.
Nope, nothing major from me.
Based on what Ragnar is saying, it's like burying the body when the body died should have been enough to prevent its rise as a trail gaunt. Also, it should have, like, it looks like it wasn't buried. It looks like this was deliberately a pit trap placed over top of it. And a trail gaunt is sentient, that's intelligent enough to have, like, ordered a trap be made, or even made the trap for itself. It does, in fact, have both a burrow and a climb speed, so it could have just dug down through the pit and then sealed it from the bottom.
Very well.
All right. So this thing was probably the culprit. All right. How about a quick, like, I don't know, search roll or something to check the camp for items or more, I don't know, maybe that like some letters or other stuff on them. Can tell us more.
You could definitely search the bodies, yeah. Searching the camp itself would mean exposing yourself to the grossness.
Yeah, I mean, like, not searching through all the splattered organs.
Just like the bodies themselves.
I think that's a given.
So like, to be clear, are you searching the camp or searching the bodies?
What about this thing here?
That's it looks like as if the dwarves had stopped to set up like temporary, well, a little more than temporary, but a little less than like gonna last the ages style fortifications. It's basically just a tree stand that runs from this tree to this tree.
Yeah, I think I personally will only search the bodies because I won't touch any of that grossness. Maybe someone else would stoop too low to do that, but I'm noble and I don't do that.
Makes sense. Alrighty, give me a perception check.
Let's see that.
Tommy, I can get no beer to do this. No beer, so we don't actually have to touch the gross stuff. So we can bring him around to pick stuff up.
Okay. So there's no way without first clearing out the gore that's in the campsite to get to the campsite without, unless you can fly without getting in it.
Prestidigitation?
Yeah, that would do it.
I mean, hey, leave it for the rats. It's their only decent source of food for them around.
So Tuxie clears out this one, is what I'm hearing?
Yeah, they're not busy with that one.
Okay. Gotcha. And as Elric is going through the bodies of the fallen dwarfs, one of them does have it's real, probably about the size of like a human's hand. It's not big, but it is a little journal.
Can I read it?
Can you read Dwarven?
Let me check. I think I do. Common, Celestial, Draconic, Elven, Aclo, Dwarven. Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Give me a linguistics real quick if you can.
Tuxie will look over the shoulder and aid.
Okay.
She doesn't know Dwarven, but she's good with linguistics.
Alrighty.
Worst case, my divination spell slot is filled with comprehend language.
Not a bad one to have. Okay, so you guys begin flipping around through it, trying to figure out what is, and it doesn't take long. Like, as soon as Elric opens the journal, starts reading, like, the journal is old, it's been rained on, looks like food has been spilled on it. Also, the battle has gotten a lot of, like, grossness on it, as if the vultures had picked around and in a couple cases, like, threw a couple pages, knocked it open a little bit. So some of it's really beat up, some of it's illegible, but the three of you put your heads together, and it looks like this was an expedition of, well, 4 dwarves who had left from the Five Kings Mountains, which would mean they're a long, long, long way from home, and had come out to the Stolen Lands in search of something called the Temple of the Badger. They had stopped here after searching. That part becomes a little more illegible. You're not super sure where they search. It's like there's blood has redacted it, essentially, except like the runes for Stolen Lands. They want to continue the search, but they're not sure where to look or what to look for. But they know it's here somewhere, and there's supposed to be some kind of pretty legendary, maybe a temple, maybe an artifact, maybe something else dedicated to the god Torag. They had decided to set up a small fort, and that entry looks like it had been a few days ago. They had come by Oleg's before that, and then they decided it would be better they didn't stay there. This human's hard to trust. We should probably leave early. Also, we have dark vision, so we don't super care about traveling at night. And so they come here, they begin felling trees, setting up basic fortifications. The one who, from the looks of it, like described as the captain, you assume whoever was leading had left a couple days, like basically as soon as they got here, they had left to scout the area and not returned. There was talk of in the morning going out for, like, to form a basic, like, search and rescue kind of thing, and that's the last entry in the journal.
In that case, I will certainly inform our Torak cleric of it, because, well, that's obviously interesting for him that there's supposedly a temple of Torak hidden somewhere here. Otherwise, I'll probably just openly discuss with the group the findings in the journal.
Well, sounds like they found their friend they were looking for.
And
Yes.
Ragnar
Or the
smiles.
friend
We go to
found
the
him.
caravan before the vultures pick it clean.
And Ragnar smiles and nods. He says, I heard lots of rumors, like we talked about before, about how there are long-lost expeditions during the quest for Sky that were lost here in the Stolen Lands. Certainly, I've heard nothing of a long-lost temple or an artifact or anything of that nature, but it does indeed track.
Well, add that to the ever-growing list of things we need to look into.
I'd certainly like to if we had the chance, yes.
I can tell you this much. The idea of a forgotten Torag temple doesn't come to my mind. But then again, I'm not a dwarf, and I haven't spoken to many dwarves that actively live out here, so... In fact, I'm not even certain of any that do, right off the top of my head there, friend. So I am afraid my local knowledge won't be much help in that, I don't think.
Well, who knows? Certainly, we're out here looking for, and he, like, looks down at the bodies of the zombies. Whoever did this, perhaps maybe and he, like, puts 2 fingers up and begins, like, trying to, like, connect the dots in the air. Perhaps they're related, perhaps they're adjacent. He shrugs.
Very well. Say, Tuxi, you cleared up the camp. Did you find anything over there?
Tuxi, make a perception check.
This will be fun.
So, in the prestidigitating, That's a whole mouthful right there. In the prestidigitating of this place, indeed, you do come upon they're probably about the size of like Tuxie's like head to like bottom of rib cage. By a couple, we'll call it 3. There are 3 pretty beaten up rucksacks, which like Tuxie goes to pick them up, but there's clearly stuff inside them.
Tuxie will clean up the stuff inside the rucksacks.
Alright.
Rucksacks,
Rucksacks, backpacks, bags,
yeah, that works.
if you will. Alrighty. So in total, you open them up, and the AP lags out real hard as I get to our looting section. Don't everyone get excited at once. Alrighty.
Oh, loot.
Ah, yes. Looks like the dwarves were carrying in loose change about 120 gold.
Ooh.
The first thing that falls out of the big bag is a smaller bag which has the teeny tiny bits of coin and thing. A pair of, they look like earrings, just little like about the size of like a halfling's thumb, little war hammers with like stabby bits at the top. Pair of silver earrings fall out. There's also a wooden box, and you open it, and wonder of wonders, it appears to be a little music box. There's a little like ballerina that starts dancing around the circle as it starts playing the like calming music of the thing.
I think I will use my divination ability and roll twice to appraise.
Okay. Oh, good job, buddy. So you think, and you're pretty darn sure, that those earrings would probably fetch you probably about 150 gold for the pair. The music box itself, you're looking at more like 90 to 95, kind of depending on who you sell it to. I guess the same is true for the earrings, because technically they could be used as Torog's holy symbols. I will not make the decision for Ragnar if he wants to pierce his ears or not. I'll let that one go to him. I can roleplay him like this, but I'm not super comfortable being like, yes, I'd like to pierce my ears, my nose, and no septum ring. It's just a hammer. Ow.
Well, wait, what was that last ring? What?
A septum?
The heck is a septum?
In your nose.
Yep, the bull ring.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably
ones always look like they
but I don't have any ears. I have ear holes, but it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't think it would be a good idea to try making holes in your head to fit earrings into your ear holes.
Yeah, please don't pierce your tympanic membrane directly. Jesus. I'm good. How are you?
Well, you found it, so you should hold on to them for now, I think. Do we want to check out this wagon over there? See if there's anything in there?
Yes.
Hopefully their four-legged friend won't rise to attack us.
Oh gosh. Didn't think of that.
I feel
Were you trying to be funny there, friend, or were you actually being serious?
I'm being paranoid.
It's
Fair
that
enough.
fine line between funny and serious. Paranoid.
Yeah, exactly. I'm somewhere in between.
I'm, as they say, undecided at the moment.
Tuxie tries to call Smiles to follow her.
Smiles will follow her. Ven is gonna... So he's gonna look over to Ven. Ven's just gonna nod and keep an eye on the camp for now, but Smiles will stay with Tuxie.
Okay. Ragnar and Trazen will continue to mine the bodies.
I'll go check out the wagon with no beard.
Okay. So then I'll make the eagles go away, and I'll grab the Eidolon. Boom! Not a Yu-Gi-Oh card at all.
What's a Yu-Gi-Oh?
Exactly.
King of Game.
Yeah, move. Okay.
I personally only play Gwent.
Don't make me buy The Witcher. I'm tempted to buy The Witcher. Toss a coin to
You should
your
totally,
Witcher. Oh,
you should totally buy The Witcher.
Isn't it on sale at the moment now?
So good.
Lucia has it on her PS3. I can play it there. I don't need to.
Oh, yeah, you're fine, man.
Okay, I guess let me get perceptions from people who are moving that direction.
Is Smiles able to perceive this?
Hmm.
I'm gonna do a perception on the since he's looking out for danger.
That makes sense.
Oh, Tuxie totally got it.
So Tuxie, as you round the corner, it's a little hard to see through the trees and brush and things, and then you turn and one of the vultures flaps and moves a little, and you can see a pretty large curled horn come up from the side of a head that kind of like, it doesn't drop off, but it lolls dangerously over as the neck is missing several of its tendons. Looks like a pretty sizable ram was pulling the wagon.
Now I feel like I'm in World of Warcraft.
Good, that was the idea. The vultures continue to just feast on its body. It's pretty big, though. It's bigger than Smiles is.
Is anyone else coming? Tuxie calls.
Yeah. I'm totally following you. I mean, I'm trying to keep a somewhat safe distance, but I'm still coming along. I'm just a bit of a pansy.
I mean, if I was the wizard, I would also be in the back.
Yeah, well, there is
Okay,
a brave dragon and make sure that we're safe. You let us know if you need me. And I'll send No Beard. So I guess we'll use like the pets to flank her so she's safe. So I guess Smiles on one side and No Beard on the other to make sure you feel protected.
Seems logical to me. Okay. As Elric gets where Elric is on the board, and I guess also Tuxie, all of the vultures fly up and basically just kind of fly off away into, well, yeah. They're just gonna land in the trees. Foosh, foosh, foosh. Is this a Jungle Book? It's a Jungle Book. The ram's body kind of twitches a little. The head moves about 15 degrees up and then back down, like as if like a reflex had just gone off and just meh, and then moves no more.
Wait. Was it alive? Oh no. No.
It's kind of.
Just to try it out, I will shoot a ray of disrupt undead at it.
Okay.
See if anything happens. If it's not undead, then nothing happens. So whatever.
A 17 definitely hits. The ray contacts the ram's torso, and there's kind of the reaction is, it's not like what you would expect if you'd hit an undead, but there's a little bit of like the fur is singed. The corpse doesn't move.
Okay, it doesn't seem to be alive. False alarm. I mean, undead.
I'm gonna move up to it.
Would that be like a knowledge religion to see if it's in the middle of transformation? So technically it's not undead, but it's becoming.
Yeah, I'd allow it. Devin's not sure.
Can I roll a heal check to see if there's anything I can do to keep it alive?
Sure.
Huzzah!
No, unfortunately, it's dead and has been dead for a pretty long time.
Okay.
Probably about as long as the dwarves back at camp.
Well, that's a shame.
Well, now that the Earth's close, you can take a look into the wagon. Is there anything inside?
Oh, yep. Perception checks abound.
Hop, hop.
I shall do the roll twice thingy.
As you will.
Tuxie is still like looking at the ram, waiting to see if something happens.
Robin!
Why do I even roll twice if I roll the same thing anyway?
The ram's head pops off. It's a demi-lich. Lol. Yeah, you move up inside. There's a couple of boxes and crates and things. There's also a... Oh, I want to get the flavor text of this right. Let me re-grab this. Something that you get the distinct impression was Chewie's birthday present, so you are compelled to not take it because it's not for you. And wrapped in a golden gray cloak. It's like a cylindrical object about the size of a warhammer that I will... If Chewie's showing up tonight, I'll wait till then for the flavor text stuff. But on top of that, there is, we'll say, I'll do a D8. I'll be generous. In the form of like salted meat, hardtack, and stale ale. 4 days worth of rations. In addition, looks like, I'll roll a D4. I'll roll a D6. Doesn't matter. A single crate, which is full of... Vin takes a look and looks like they might have come from thylacines. Looks like they might have come from wolves. It's kind of a mixed bag, but the crate is full of furs and hides and things like that.
Well, you can probably take this wagon along with us.
The wagon is a
I mean, we have...
order, yes.
I mean, we have 6 horses, and we, depending on the size of the wagon here, it either needs 1 or 2 horses to pull it. Ours needs 2, because I've bought the largest one available. I don't know which size this one is.
On the board, it looks like it's 10 by 10 is what it's supposed to be.
Let's see if that makes it a light, a medium, or a heavy card.
Tuxie will like mage hand one of the ram's horns.
Okay. You certainly can, much like the older Fallouts, you can get the button that allows you to manipulate the world. And you can pull the head and twist it a little bit, and you can, as much as 5 pounds can move it, 5 pounds moves it. There's no reaction.
Huh.
Actually, on that note, also, the ram is wearing... The barding is for a large creature, but it is wearing... it's a dwarf, so it wouldn't be leather. We'll say, like, chain shirt barding.
Yeah, I checked. But if it's 10 by 10, it's a light one.
Got you. So light wagon, the large and has the broken condition because many a vulture has torn through it, but a decent suit of chainmail barding, all things considered.
Does it look like it can be repaired with mending?
Yeah. It's not like torn to shreds. There's just a lot of the links have been broken where something has torn it open to feast on the flesh.
I will probably hand that over to our Torah cleric because he has a touch of Torah, which is mending but special.
Special mending.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, it takes him however long it takes him, but he has it at will. So the sound of hammer and anvil, I won't say echoes. It doesn't just throughout the camp, but there is the faint sound of hammer on anvil over and over
ding,
and over. Yeah,
ding,
pretty much.
Ding,
Ting.
We could probably make a musical instrument out of some of those horns.
That's possible. It's a huge horn. So it probably makes quite a deep sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could use it as a. I don't know. We could take it back to the town. Use it maybe as a warning signal if we have a lookout.
I mean, I've never tried something like that, but I'm pretty good when it comes to crafting stuff. I could give it a shot.
You certainly could, yeah.
Well, if you want me to try and make you some kind of signal horn out of it, you would need to remove it from the corpse first. That's not really something that I'm proficient in.
Yeah, I was going to leave that to the druid if he was willing.
Sure, I can do that.
Yeah, give me that survival check.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's not hard. You could. There's not a lot of meat left. The hide of the the hide of the beast itself is now ragged and not the best. But you could certainly salvage.
Get
Is the wrong
Miles a
word.
snack.
God, yeah. It's certainly no. It hasn't been. I thought the vultures were zombies. Yeah, no. You could definitely feed Smiles with it, and also. My God, what word am I trying to harvest? There it is. You could harvest the horns.
Yay! There should be 2 of them because it's a ram, right?
Yes.
All right, that works.
And indeed, you've got him. If it would take a little bit of downtime, I don't know how much a musical instrument costs, but it would take that amount of time to make it.
Yeah, we're probably gonna do it down the line.
Okay.
I'm currently trying to look up what would probably be. No
A
idea
horn of Valhalla.
yet.
You'd probably
The
turn
problem
it
is
into
the problem is when you look up horns, they straight up go to like all the magic horns. It's like horn of blasting. It's like, yeah, that's kind of not what I wanted to do.
Horn of Valhalla, 50,000 gold pieces.
or well beyond what the level
It
of
would-
crafting can make.
It would
Yeah.
probably be a typical item when it comes to difficulty. There's very simple item, typical item, high quality items, and complex or superior item.
It's pretty. Yeah, you're basically just hollowing this thing out so air can travel through it.
If it's just hollowing, it's probably even very simple. Then it's a DC 5 to craft.
Yeah, there it is.
That's if it's that, then I can straight up not fail
Now,
because my intelligence is +5.
Indeed. So it would probably take. You don't gotta do a lot. You just presuming you have the tools to do so. You just need to hollow it out. Yeah, you'd be able to make one or two in about an hour, maybe 2.
Yeah, I guess since people are burying bodies, I will have time for at least one, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the amount of time it takes Ragnar to finish the funeral rites, you'd be able to.
All right, well, let's do a roll to see how well I'm doing.
Rolls real well, actually makes a horn of blasting.
That would be amazing.
Oops.
Let's see if there craft general. There's craft, but that's craft alchemy.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
it's probably
12.
a little new for you, but you can pull it off.
It's not masterwork, but it does the job.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm probably saying like, well, we don't have a mouthpiece for it yet, and there could be some more treatment to it, but it would work right now.
Indeed.
All right. I think after everything is settled, we probably move on with an additional wagon.
Okay. So it's starting to get a little late at this point. Like, by the time you guys had made it to the ford, the sun was starting to go down. IIRC. Actually, I'm questioning myself. I have to go back and double check the travel time, but I'm pretty sure that was about. Oh no, wait. I'm so used to just everyone is stopping and exploring, and so it takes so much more time. Pretend I didn't say that. Oh, boom. Okay. So I'm gonna pop up the travel time Aruski here real quick. Recalculate. 3, 2. Does anyone off the top of their head remember how long I said it would be to get there while I'm doing the math? Because if someone remembers out.
You said it would be 32 hours.
Gotcha.
In total.
So then at some point you would need to make camp. That said, if you're not looking for anything, nothing really jumps out at you. Is there anything you guys want to do in downtime? Any role-playing during the camp? Or do we jump straight to the town?
Well, probably once we make a camp, I will do the second horn.
Okay.
But aside from that, maybe some idle chattering.
Yep.
Hey, I got nothing really big that I want to do, so I'm ready to go to town when you.
I just don't necessarily want to fast travel it forward if anybody's like, no, I want to do this thing. But fair enough, you follow along the Thorn River till eventually it breaks into the highlands, and sitting on our side of the skunk is, in fact, I always want to say, the city of Townsville, but not quite.
But yeah, I very much appreciate that you ask first before skipping.
Yeah. Skipping is rude. Alrighty, so I'll defer to the man who put the town on the board as you guys reach the city of, I can't read it, the city of Timberfall.
That was just a town. Dang, you upgraded it.
The metropolis of Timberfall.
Oh my.
Absalom is now Timberfall. Nevertheless, what do we encounter here?
How many of your family live here?
A few.
He has like such a giant family.
I was determined to put that family ties trait to work.
And so you did.
But yeah, there are 3 family members of mine. Basically, I am 2 brothers and a sister-in-law, as well as a niece and a nephew.
Gotcha.
Those are the ones that are in town. I imagine the town mostly is kind of small. It mostly populates by trappers, hunters, river folk that are used to traveling through the area. Not very many people. There's probably like a tavern. That's about, one of the local blacksmith is, well, I say mostly blacksmith. He's mostly just a crafter in general, is my brother Learton. And then there's also Monroe, who's who's the other brother that lives in the town. But yeah, so that's what I got in there.
Okay, makes sense. So I guess let me get a perception check from everybody.
Alrighty then. And I am gonna roll for Smiles, because Smiles would know what he's looking for.
Sure. Tommy's not sure what Smiles is looking for.
Smiles is looking for food, prey, or people to snuggle.
Got it.
Trixie is probably still writing Smiles.
Makes sense. So y'all roll into the town. The first thing that basically everybody notices, this isn't really relevant to Smiles, but there is a simple wooden palisade, just like get a bunch of timbers and make a wall out of them that they've always been here around the village, which is probably, say about like 25 permanent residents, and everybody else kind of just moves through. Sound fair to you, Ross?
Yep.
Etched into, there's not really like a gate in so much of function, so much as like, here are some wagons that are next to the hole in the things that could be pulled in such a way as like to block passage. Sarenrae's holy symbol has been carved into both sides.
Oh, we forgot to take the wagon.
No, someone told me to take the wagon.
There's also, I imagine,
the
would be
broken
well,
Robin said it 1d6 plus 1 times. My man's needs his wagon. What were we saying?
I was talking about the ram.
there'd also probably be there'd also probably be some for Erastil, because that's a major god in the area.
Yeah,
And
I imagine Erastil's is more like someone has carved a bow, and like it is sitting on top of a couple of the timbers.
well, the reason I bring it up is because the sister-in-law is supposed to be a priestess of Erastil and main leader of the faith in that regard in the village.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And as you guys make it, I imagine the village probably looks a little bit like the inns do in The Witcher from what I have played of it. There is one big central building, and then a couple of like, here's the stables, here's where the animals go, and here's places the travelers can stop and rest. Everything seems to be fine. People come out and see you. Here's a D3. Which NPC do I roleplay today? It is in fact, we'll say Cersei comes out, yeah.
Oh, before we start talking to them, y'all, are we still doing our undercover stuff? So we're still a group of traveling performers?
I am simply guiding a group of travelers through the area for whatever purpose. You guys can come up with the stories you see fit. I am a little bit more inclined to tell my kinsfolk about the truth of my endeavors, since I think they would be useful to aid us. But my family is very loyal to one another, and I can assure you that even if it weren't for the fact my brother had been turned into a ghoul, he would have aided us, even if he were, if he were still himself.
Well, I think we will, as a general thing, I think we will keep it up. But I think we can tell a couple of people, like, if his family is trustworthy, I'm fine with it. Because we do need to gather information about undead sightings and stuff like that. So
if there's anyone in this town that would be knowing what all's going on, it'd probably be my sister-in-law, Cersei, or Cersina.
Also, we need allies. So we
I
probably
bring
need
her
to
up
divulge.
because she's the local priest of Erastil. She's been at it for as long as I can recall, and she's pretty powerful when it comes to the divine faith. And if anyone can tell you what's going on in the woods around here, it's probably her.
And indeed. Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
No, I said that sounds fair if we want to go seek her out.
Fair enough. And indeed, she is the one who turns the corner, basically. It's like people come out, people see that people are coming. She's got, like, reddish, blondish hair, which she wears back in a braid down and, like, around her shoulder. Simple, like, browns and greens on her clothing and a bow. Basically, she probably has it. Yeah, well, I was going to make an unstrung bow that she's using as a staff, but that's how you break things. Approaching you, moving forward, in fact, is all Cersina. She looks over everyone, scratches her head, and just... Vin?
Hey, Cersina.
You haven't seen Carlin, have you?
I have.
And?
We shall discuss it in private.
Yeah, I was just about to say, that's probably not something that you want to talk about on the street.
Yes. I'll jump off my horse, come over, hug her a bit tighter than normal, and say, once again, we'll speak in private.
The look on her face is one of concern, and she's, now?
I'd prefer to get the news out of the way, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, and
Yeah.
she turns and they're all. She waves ambiguously at the group.
Yeah.
I
mean,
can attest
Tootsie
for the
is still
character
writing smiles.
of my companions here. They've assisted me in quite a few endeavors. I can assure you that their character is worthy of being allowed inside, and if anything happens, I'll take the blame for it. Yeah, I know the customs and trials and all that stuff.
She nods.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, my manners still require me to keep some distance to give the family some time to speak on their own. So I will follow, but I will leave them enough space to have a private conversation.
Okay. Cersei leads.
And just keep walking real close and do as close as I can be. And it's probably like make it slightly awkward, but I don't care.
Okay, fair enough. So indeed, Cersei leads basically just around the corner, around like the big common, the longhouse, shall we call it, whereupon there's a little like back alley that you guys can be led to where there's privacy, and she turns and just, okay, what happened?
He was a ghoul, or no, what? He was. Oh, gods, he was undead. I don't know if you've heard, but for a while there, Oleg. Gods, he was poisoning people, putting them to sleep so that way, whatever that entity that I took in my brother's. He's dead. He's dead, and I killed him. Cersina.
She puts a hand on your shoulder and just, no, if he was undead, I don't think you killed him. I think you laid him to rest. And I'm sure that was hard, but commendable.
I need to get the family together so we can hold a wake. I mean, I have his ashes so we can spread them. But, is the rest of the team looking around? Is the rest of the team around? Or is it just me and her?
I mean, Tootsie is still on
Smiles. Trusted with you, try to get us killed, so I'm
Jeff, we're catching when you kick on, we're getting a bunch of feedback from everybody. So I'm hearing the second half of everything you're saying, but that's it.
Okay, there we go. I said I'm still following you because last person that we had of yours that we trusted tried to get us all killed. So I'm gonna walk with you and make sure I'm listening.
Okay.
Well, like I said, Eric will keep a distance because that's what his manners demand. As a noble, he knows what how you should act around people, and this is a pretty private thing, so he keeps his distance. He's like, you can see him, but he's far enough away that he can't listen in on a normal conversation. So, as long as you don't start shouting, I don't hear what you're saying.
All right.
And Tootsie is writing smiles because Smiles is warm and she is cold-blooded and it feels nice.
That's fair. Smiles would probably then stay outside and he would also kind of stand in your way. Stand in your way there, Devon. Physically start to block you.
All right. Okay.
You then back off for a moment, and you guys would probably hear Ven crying a little bit again before he comes back around the corner and says, "Can you all come back here? I want to introduce you to her and explain what's going on."
Well, Eric nods and follows.
All right. I'll bring the rest of the group back into the alleyway and say, so, you know how I owed... You know how I owed Vercinta a favor?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so she asked me to help with a group of nobles that wanted to come down here into the Stolen Lands.
Nobles?
And at first,
she looks over the squad.
Yeah. And, at first I was thinking, oh great, they just want to go trophy hunting or something. Hooray. They're with the Order of the Palatine Eye, hunting down necromancers.
She nods.
And I think that might have something to do with what happened to Carlin.
Nods again.
Okay, and I really am trusting you here. Please don't tell people. But, like, you know, kind of hush-hush, but I trust you, you're my sister and everything. But do you know where my brothers, where my father and mother and all of them are? We need all the help we can get. These are very dangerous times.
She shakes her head. Well, Ro's been out for most of the day. I think he went out hunting. Honestly, we haven't talked a lot lately. We haven't certainly seen anything like a ghoul, but there have been stories of travelers coming through, things popping up out of the ground, things that shouldn't be moving. Hence and she turns and points generally in the direction of the wall. We had a traveling priest of Serenray come through, and they wanted to bless the walls, and far be it from me from stopping them. We haven't had any problems here. Old Deadeye spare me having to protect my children from, again, waves out.
And what about Luton? Is he around?
I think he's out hunting too.
Oh, gods. The one time I need my brothers around, and they're out. Oh, yeah, that's my family in a nutshell. Oh, gods. Look, this was the first place I could think of to try and find some help and see what's going on. Right now, we need information, and I know if anyone knows what's going on around here, it's you. But for now, I also think we maybe need to set up a little battle plan, because I'm afraid that whatever the hell these things are, they're going to come for the town. I don't know. I'm very concerned.
And I think they might, I don't know, they've got some sort of weird blister thingies that are nasty. They explode and it's,
I'm sorry, I don't think
Yeah.
we've met. And she turns towards Tuxie.
Ah, yes. Pardon my manners. I am Tuxale the Copper Scale, but you can call me Tuxie.
She smiles.
It's Chewy. I was confused. Who just joined? Hey, Chewy.
Chewy!
Hi.
Chewy's here. Okay. There is a slight lore backup. And boop, 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 boop. Chewy, inside the wagon, wrapped in a cloak covered in the holy symbols and colors of Torog, there is you've never seen one up close before, but you've read about him. I know, Achilles. You've read about him too. You don't
I've
have
read
object
about
permanence.
kittens too.
It's a cat. You got a cat. Congratulations for your new cat.
What?
Achilles, don't bite me. It looks not unlike your Warhammer, but where the head of the Warhammer is, it's hollow, and you look it over and you flip it over, and then it's kind of like you have to set it up and un it out. In fact, it is a Warhammer musket. Along the left side of the barrel in Dwarven, the rune for thoughts, and on the other side, the rune for prayers. And you are automatically proficient in its use. It presently has 50 rounds of ammunition. Happy birthday.
Wait, what?
It's his birthday. I'm giving him a gun for his birthday.
Oh, it's a gun.
That's amazing.
Thoughts and prayers.
It's a blunderbuss.
Not quite a
Woohoo!
It's a musket.
Which? Oh, a musket.
Musket
Okay.
Warhammer. I've seen them.
Alternatively, you could
amazing.
sell it for a cool 1,600 gold. If you don't appreciate
No.
your present.
I like it.
And
How
I guess now is
Quick-
a good time. Go ahead.
A quick question. I mean, it probably doesn't come up that soon, but How does a weapon that's both melee and ranged work when it comes to enchantments?
You would enchant it like a double weapon.
Ah, okay.
I'm like 90%
Fascinating.
sure. I bet, probably.
Because I was like, so you should be able to put those properties on the weapon?
It is considered a double weapon for the purposes of creating masterwork or magical versions of this weapon. If the firearm gains the broken condition, both the firearm component and the warhammer are considered broken. A warhammer musket uses either one bullet and one dose of black powder or a single alchemical cartridge as ammunition. It's got enough bullets and black powder for as many rounds as I said a second ago. And now that we're not in combat, now that Chewy's here, we'll do starting from the top so you can maybe try to put a voice with a name. If you haven't figured it out, an hour and 40 minutes on, I suppose. We'll start with Vin. Who are you? What are you? In character for the hero point.
Hi, I am Mac, also the player of Vin. I'm a human druid who is a native here to the Stolen Lands, and I'm accompanied by my wolf animal companion, best friend ever, and one of the greatest doggos to continue doggoing, Smiles. Because that boy has the best smile around. He got it from his mother, Happy. May it rest allow her to hunt forever through the fields with him. But yeah, my main job is just making sure these guys don't get lost and die in the woods and turn into a trail gas like those other poor fools. But yeah, back to you, Tommy.
No, back to me. Good. Well, we have the in-character reflection.
Oh,
for the events of last time and half of this time, I guess.
Just at the moment, where the hell are my brothers at? Why aren't they where they normally are? The one time I need them, they're out hunting. God bless it. Ah! That's kind of what's going through his head right now.
Good enough. And the hero point is yours, and we go now to old Devin.
I am Jeff. I'm playing Devin, who is the coolest guy in the party, the goodest looking, the smartest being, the fastest being, the strongest, all in his own mind. Internal character reflections is sort of just like, I'm glad that I'm not hurt. A lot of shit is going on. People are falling into holes. There are gross things trying to eat dead things that are even more grosser. But I don't see the point in all this. I'm trying to figure out like what's the long term. I'm really trying to convince myself that we need to find this whole big undead thing so that people will know that I orchestrated all this and that I saved the whole world so that people will love me. But it's a lot of hard work, and I'm not having the most fun. But eyes on the prize. There's a lot of gold and glory and admiration in the future.
Good enough for
Wait,
me.
you were Randall Savage, the macho mage.
Are you just now putting that together? I'm proud of you.
It took me this long until him talking about how he's the goodest and the strongest and the smartest. And now I remember exactly who he played.
Yep, now you remember the
Now you remember. I got him in the background, just waiting for Devin to die. Because I'll let you know one thing right here, right now. Is when he goes down, the macho mage is coming back. I'm blasting magic missiles and dropping elbows.
Can we trade Devin for this guy now? I'll do the job right now.
It's just we all assassinate him so he can come back with his synthesis again. Yeah, sure. Splendid. I remember how much I love death worms too on that note. But the hero point is yours, and we go to Elric von Almar.
Well. I'm the player, Robin, and I'm playing Elric von Almar. I'm first level Fortune Wizard, which is a sub-school of divination. For the character reflection. Well, things aren't as fun as he expected them to be. Things are a lot more gory and stinky than he had expected. But at least his opinions of his traveling companions is starting to improve. At the start, he really couldn't stand the druid. Like, god dang, that such a rude person. It's like he was hired, but still he was so rude. doesn't he know how people who get hired for a job need to act? But after all the weird and fucked up things that happened, I think I'm starting to warm up to him a bit. I'm feeling really sorry about the whole thing with his brother. And also, the first thing that we experienced when we got here was being poisoned and having one of his old friends betray him with Oleg, poisoning everyone, including him. So, yeah. I'm feeling really sorry for our druid friend. Well, those things are looking better, and I hope that we can get the help and information that we need to get this done, because there are a lot of things waiting for us in the future, and this is currently just a stepping stone for the bright future that Eric has in mind.
Good enough for me. Bright futures. And we'll send it the wizards. Trazen's been real quiet for a while, and Ragnar's fine. That's your second birthday present. Tuxie, take us home.
All right, I am Emmy. I am playing Tuxale the Copper Scale, or Tuxie. I am a bard wit, and I'm a muse-touched Azamar who said, not really a human Azamar, kobold. So that's fun. And I suppose right now Tuxie is feeling a bit bad for Vin. Out of everyone in the group, he's the one who she seemed to connect with the most at the beginning. And, you know, smiles definitely helped. He's nice and warm and fluffy and keeps Tuxie warm. But that's about it. She kind of slept through a whole lot. She had
That's fair.
Too big of a dose of whatever that is, so at least she is well rested.
Indeed. That's what happens when you take way too much melatonin. Okay, and we pick back up from where we were. Around this point, I'll say, did you have a preferred... you have 2 kids here. Are they built out at all, Ross?
They're not, for one thing, they're not Vin's kids.
I mean, yeah, I say you have 2 kids. I mean, I'm talking about the Cersei's.
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking probably Lola was the girl and Jeffrey was the boy. Or something. I don't know. I didn't have good names for them at the moment when I was creating the characters.
That makes sense. Okay, let me just... As I'm talking, I'm flipping through... Yes, indeed. Okay, so then out come the boy and the girl, and they see Smiles. Smiles! And they come, like, running up, and, like, Smiles turns in. Let me get a ride check / acrobatics check from Tuxie.
Well, I definitely have acrobatics. Don't have ride. Actually, they come out to be the same with my armor.
So Smiles, like, probably a little bit, like a couple seconds before this happens, Smiles probably, like, scents the air and then turns and then hears the kids and Smiles. I guess a wolf doesn't bark so much as, like, a meow. The wolf is my cat. And turns and goes running for the kids. Tuxie's able to, like, hold on to something and balance a little so she doesn't get, like, yeeted from the back of the wolf. And at some point, eventually, Tuxie hops off as the wolf begins, like, rolling around in the dirt with the kids. It's a joyous and happy celebration. They're followed by somebody. I'll put her token on the board. It may appear much bigger than it actually is. She's not 12 miles. She's not a giant. Followed by her
The scale
attire.
on this is insane.
Yeah. By her attire, she appears to be from a knowledge local check. Achilles, hush. We're playing Pathfinder, buddy. Support us on Patreon so you can feed my cat. start playing In the Arms of the Angels. Indeed, by her dress, by her general bearing, she appears to be from Restov. Her hair is clearly dyed that shade of light red because it doesn't come that way naturally. The glasses are pretty immaculate. The brown hood that like hangs from a cloak is also like, it's almost unsmeared. There's nothing on it. She's got a I hadn't quite figured this one out yet. Yeah, from behind her hopping, there is a like, she's moving kind of like graceful and serene, and then behind her pokes a couple of ears out from behind the cloak, and in fact it's a little hair. She seems to be like watching over the kids, that kind of thing. Smiles, looks up and goes over, and she reaches down, scritches the dog. I'm sorry, if there's anything else you need to talk about in private, we can go somewhere else, Vin. And she looks at your sister looks at the new figure who's approached.
No, I was just introducing my sister here to some of my friends and getting ready to see my niece and nephew. And I'm gonna like pick them up and spin around a bit with them on my arms.
And you pick them up and they swing and carry on and stuff.
I'll put them down and then look back to her and say, well met friend, I don't think I've seen you around these parts before.
I don't think I've seen you either.
And I haven't seen anybody.
Smiles, just sticks out his tongue. But yes, hi, I'm Vincent Jemerson. I'm her younger brother-in-law.
Oh, I see. My name is Ignava. You can call me Ignava. The whole name is it's not short. And this, she looks around, doesn't seem to be much of a formal affair. She extends a hand.
Say that again, Tommy?
She extends a hand.
Oh, yeah. I already extended my hand.
And she shakes and looks over your shoulder. Do you always travel with such bright company? They are with you, yes?
Yes, they are with me. I vouch for their character. And, no, this is actually a first.
I see. And she turns in. You are certainly she puts her thumb up to the bridge of her glasses, pushes them up, rubs her eyes. You're certainly the brightest kobold I've ever seen. And I mean that both in terms of the color of scales and the way you are speaking. She moves over and like takes a knee to be down at Tuxi's level.
Yes. It's a bit complicated. I believe that I am an Azamar.
Yes, that would track, sure.
You know, the thing is that most humans can't really tell the difference between a kobold and an Azamar kobold when just looking us over because, I don't know, we're just...
In my experience, most of the times we're chasing you away with brooms, am I right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm sorry to hear that, little one. And at this point, speaking of little one, the hair comes and hop, 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 starts like sniffing in Vin's direction. Hop, hop, hop,
Oh,
hop,
that
hop,
kind
hop.
of hair.
Yes.
Not like the hair on her head.
She's actually Sindel from the Mortal Kombat. Roll initiative.
Gotcha.
The hair eventually hops back. She like absent-mindedly reaches down when the hair reaches her foot and like scritch, 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 scritch.
I'm gonna like kind of as she's talking to Tuxi, lean over to him, Cersina, and say, "Who's your new friend?"
I think she's from Restov. Out here, well, you know the rich types. They come out here, they look through our lands for whatever they can take home or stories. I think she's just bored.
As she says, "You know the rich types," I instinctively look over my shoulder at Devin.
Tersina puts her hand up to her mouth.
He is prestidigitated any surface around him to sort of look like to be very reflective as a mirror as he starts to flick his hair.
Oh my god.
Tooksy mage hands his ascot a little bit. I'm just
Thank you for
assuming
listening. Tosses a copper your way.
I assume he has an ascot, yeah.
Yeah, he says thanks for the assistance, little one, and tosses a copper your way.
Toss a coin to your bard.
Yes, I'm very
Dixie
well
looks at it and
aware of the
goes,
rich type, but
What's this? I'm made of this. You could do better than that.
The light-haired woman looks up and like, yeah, you could do better than that. Smiles, winks.
No, you're fine. I don't know. I didn't want to take away from the whole scene that you guys were having, so that was just a little quick. So I figured Tuxie and I can go back and forth for like 45 minutes. So I'll just continue to look.
Fair enough. So what brings an Asmar out here to the Stolen Lands?
Well, you could say I'm out here doing a bit of performance.
In what way?
Do you want me to interrupt with are we telling her the truth?
I mean, Tooksy technically isn't lying. She's a bard. She's performing all the time.
You are also withholding information, so make a bluff check.
That is true. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, charisma-based caster,
Let's go
make a bluff
with
check.
Watch that natural one.
Oh. Not great. I'll hero point that. Better.
Well, fair enough. I suppose bards are stereotypically well-traveled. Sure, fair enough. You are far from Varizia, though. Does your caravan often travel this far? And she picks up her hand and draws an imaginary map and over here, and then all the way to the other side, and then all the way back and forth and back and forth.
Well, you see, I'm not particularly sure. I am new to this caravan. They brought me on to ride Smiles over there and put on a bit of a show. It's a little bit degrading, but the pay is good enough.
She nods. I suppose I should introduce myself to the rest of all of you. And she walks over and probably starting with Elric, just, you look a little more. My name is Ignava Sindara Isidra. I'm from Restov. And she holds her hand out to Elric.
He shakes her hand and probably falls back into his typical actions as a noble. This is the little bow and stuff like that. It's pretty much hammered into him since he was a little child to act like that. So he probably can't hide that very well.
Well, you are the most polite gentleman. By your bearing, you seem to be closer to in charge and she kind of leans forward than back there. Were you always traveling with this caravan?
No. I've just recently, as you can see, I'm still quite young. Got out of college, so I haven't been traveling much yet.
Makes sense. What was your name again? I'm so sorry.
My name is Eric von Almar. Pleased to meet you.
And that roll was set for a GM roll, but it was an 11, and she has mods for it. Of the von Almar family?
Oh, you heard of us?
She nods.
Yes. Well, I guess it makes sense. especially since my brother moved. Yeah. I'm the youngest actually of the family currently.
I see. And you're based out of it. She snap, 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 snap. The fourth snap makes a little like spark come out of her hand and snap, snap. Oh, Magnamar, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed. It was quite the travel from all the way down there up to what was it, Restlov, where we first moved,
Mm-hmm.
and from there to here. Well, actually, the first one wasn't that far because I teleported.
You teleported?
Well, not me personally, but there are circles of teleportation set up between the major cities, and with the connections of my family, I was allowed to use it.
Reasonable, given how well known your family is. Sure, fair enough. That makes sense. And you, Master Dwarf.
Hello. I am Ragnar Greystone.
My, you sound much less aggressive and Scottish than you did an hour ago when you weren't here and Tommy was role-playing you. How strange, says the NPC as she breaks the fourth wall. What brings you out here? You must be looking for those ruins, huh?
Yeah. It be the ruins I be looking for.
Any luck?
I've heard of one, and I point to the direction of the one south of the trading post I heard of. It's an abandoned tower, but that's about the only one I know about so far. I point to the druid and I say he wanted to check on his family, so I followed him here, and then hopefully we'll check on that soon.
There's also
Speaking of, I hand him the journal that we found earlier with the information about another dwarven ruin or something.
Ah, yes.
A temple to Thorak, right?
Indeed. Now, to catch him up, the dwarves who had been zombified / trail gaunted, looks like they were setting up a semi-permanent home at the Thornford. The leader had gone missing. They were going to send out a search party, but never got around to it. They were looking for something called the Temple of the Badger, which I guess I'll note is, Ragnar would know that a badger is the sacred animal of Torog. Said to be somewhere in the region. Should, like, some kind of something is there. You yourself have never heard of it.
So yeah, there you go. One more information of potential dwarven ruins.
Have you heard it? Do you know of any dwarven ruins here?
I mean, I've heard the stories, but nothing in particular, no.
But hopefully I'll find them, and then we can learn a bit of something from the past. Always something good to teach you from the past.
Oh, we can. You're so right. I'd say something to your tiefling friend, but he's looking a little dusky, and so I won't talk to him. That was a bad Duskwalker pun. And
he's a bit of a silent type anyway.
Indeed. And over there we have who is this dapper as Devin is like has prestidigitation something shiny to get his.
Tuxie mage hands the copper piece that he flicked her and puts it on top of his nose.
Oh no, you don't understand. That was a charitable donation. You get to keep that. Thank you so much for your work. Thank you.
What is it?
And he says, "Yes, I'm the leader of this ragtag group of entertainers. I am Devin Dubois Devereaux. Devin Devereaux Dubois. Yes, that's me. That's me. We are Devin's disciples. Not many traveling folks around here, so we are here to entertain." You see, I bring the likes. Look at these tiny things. She rides a wolf. Have you ever seen anything like that? It's amazing, isn't she?
Oh, will you be performing tonight?
If the coin is right and we have a good enough crowd.
Oh, well, I mean, there's enough people living here, and I need to move this token. There's enough people living here in Timberfall. Yeah, I think you'd probably have a decent crowd. And she reaches into her pocket and pulls out a, like, pretty fancy purse, opens it up. 50 gold? It's not much.
It's not much. All right, so do we want to try this? Do we want to put on a show tonight, y'all? Or?
I mean, I am always ready.
I'm just over there shaking my head with Cersina, just being like, oh my sweet merciful. What did I do in a past life to piss off the Greens so much?
I could do the strong man
act.
act.
The bag of gold, and I said, prepare to have an evening of splendiferous wonderfulness that you will never soon forget.
And she smiles, nods, and of course. I should really take care of the little one here. You're hungry, aren't you? And you look down and the hair is like, it's chewing on her shoe and seems to have gotten through a little farther than it probably should. I'm just, no. And she scoops it up and it looks up at her with the big old doll eyes. And I'll be in the longhouse if anyone needs anything. And
Tuxie slips the hair a carrot as she's walking away.
fair enough.
I'm gonna look over to Cersina and say, so who was she?
She's been here a couple days now. I assume she's some entitled, down from Restov. We get them sometimes. Their coin's good as long as she's not causing problems, and certainly she's not. And she holds her hands out to mock walking like a zombie. She's not one of those, so.
Let me assure you, after dealing with I'm gonna once again glance at Devon. She is by far one of the most elegant ladies I have met of their class.
I'll say. And I'm sorry, did you say you had Carlin's ashes on you?
Yes, I say, bringing out a little bit of an urn.
Would you like me to hold on to him?
If you
Certainly,
would.
everyone will probably come through here at some point. Certainly, most of us live here. Assuming
Yes.
we haven't.
Well, you know how the rest of the family is, though. If we are, it's way too uncommon for all of us to be in one area at the same time these days.
The Stolen Lands are a big place.
Yes, well, right now we need our family to be a little bit tighter than normal.
She nods. When people start coming back, I'll tell them to hang around here, and once everybody
All right.
gets together, someone will come find you.
Okay, I appreciate that. And I'll hand her the urn.
And Cersei turns towards the rest of everyone. Well, looks like there'll be a performance tonight. She kind of leans in a little bit, and Edvin do you think they actually can pull something off?
Yes. I do have faith that they are able to perform. They're all mages. Most of them are all, in fact, yes, all of them are mages in some shape or form, so they have that going for them. And Tuxie over there is actually very talented writing on smiles. It's quite impressive. I haven't even told him to do anything, and he's just going along with it. Kind of impressive, actually.
Nods. Well,
But then again, he knows smiles. He's always been well trained.
of course. I suppose if any of you have any questions for me, now would be a decent time before festivities get underway.
What
Question.
are some of the...
The children aren't here. Are they still here too?
Playing with smiles in the corner.
Okay, so they're not going to be bothered by what we talk about because I just,
We are not
I
openly
don't-
talking about your brother's ghoulification in the presence of the children, no.
I just don't want to be talking about zombies and death and whatnot in front of children right now.
Of course.
So I suppose I'll keep the performance tonight a little bit more lighthearted.
Tuxie, what is the idea of you jousting Nobirt while he rides a pony while you ride Smile?
I'm sorry, what was any of that you just said?
Who's no... You said no beard?
No beard. It's his Eidolon.
It's my Eidolon, the big koala, the big muscular koala.
Oh, yeah.
And Joust, the little lizard lady, while she rides a wolf.
That will definitely be a sight to see.
I suppose I could do something like that. Although, I might have to use him as a practice partner. Oh, I suppose
It's fine. No, we're better like you. Very expendable.
Wait, see what?
Yeah, we got to be real careful with Jeff because Jeff doesn't have earbuds. So when we're talking, a lot of times we're getting the second half of him.
Okay, there we go. Sorry. I said, yes, Nobirt is just like you. Very expendable. Practice with him all you like.
Oh, that is wonderful material. I am sure that I will take that on stage.
You know, I can't tell if you two actually give a damn if the other one were to die or not.
I'm starting to care more and more, but I would never admit that to him.
You're starting to care about Cornstalk more? He's as tall and as thin as a cornstalk.
I mean, Tuxie is rare, so that's always nice. I think she makes like a very fantastic accessory, and you have to keep valuable things safe.
It's your natural state of being just to... Okay.
So, who is the NPC that's with us? What is her name?
Her name is
Cersina.
Cersina. She is Vin's sister-in-law.
Did you say Racina?
Cersina.
Oh, Cersina. Okay, got
I mean,
it.
they should be able to see her name underneath my character list thingy.
It is indeed there, yeah.
Got it. Cersina. Is there any people here? This would be rare, but hopefully you have it. Anyone who can craft with gunpowder and create the ammunition for firearms?
She shakes her head.
Wait, hasn't Learton been messing with gunpowder a bit?
Was that? Did you put that in? Did I miss that?
He's the crafty one of the family. He's the one that I essentially was kind of like, if he's going to be any class, he's going to be an alchemist.
Gotcha. But it is not like canon. He knows how firearms work.
I mean, I didn't put it directly in his thing, but it would make sense for him to know.
We'll roll for it then. You want 50 or better. Unfortunately, we don't really... What even... Are you supposed to hit someone with that? Do you shoot someone? It just looks like you'd break it or break your shoulder.
I hold out the warhammer gun and I point at it, the hammer at something, pull a trigger, it fires a tiny metal bullet. I don't actually do it.
Yeah, I'm
just
I was about
describing
to
how
say.
it works.
There's a loud bang. The children go running.
And then it makes a sound like thunder, and it can tear through armor very well.
I mean, and she picks up. She actually will draw an arrow, knock it, fire, and it strikes. Oh, this is mostly shoestringing, but pretty unerringly in a little darkened circle in the palisade where looks like something might have burned it at some point, or maybe the wood's just a little darker there. Just right in. Yeah, I can do that too. I don't need to dislocate my shoulder to do it though.
Just take some training.
Of course it does.
Thinking about it. Do you want to be the opening act so we can get you and your big boomstick and you can shoot fiendish eagles out of the sky? Or what else can I make? Damn.
I only have 50 bullets.
What'd you say?
So, I only have 50 bullets. A few should be fine, but not a lot. I was thinking I could do a strongman act, but The firearm would definitely be more entertaining.
So we'll give them one for free, and then if they want another one, we'll charge them extra.
And I get some of the extra charge to buy back the bullets.
Of course, you're part of the troop. I treat my employees very well.
How about your accessories?
You'll be shiny. I'll make sure you're nice and polished.
Well,
You know,
You
I don't
may
even
have
have
a
to make
slight
fun
idea.
of you. Make a big enough fool out of yourself anyways.
I'm sorry. It's like your lips are moving, but I don't have poor as one of my languages. I speak Draconic, Elf, Dwarven, but poor just isn't on the.
Hey, Devon, word of advice, you talk like that much around here, you're likely to get somebody who's probably not in their most sane mind to punch you. Most people around here, they left and live in here because they hate people like you.
You should obviously comprehend languages if you have a problem with what other people say.
That
was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. That was good. I like that one.
You know, unfortunately, I don't think you're rich enough to speak Draconic. You need a bigger horde.
And that's what you're going to help me create tonight. So let's get to work.
I'm gonna keep an eye on them and make sure they don't do something stupid. I'll say, turning to Cersina.
She smiles. And
Oh,
nods.
he's always doing something stupid.
I certainly can believe it.
Can you do me a favor?
Sure, what's up?
Can you make potted hair for dinner tonight, please? I just want something tasty for my family meal, please.
I mean, I think the noblewoman might protest, but she smiles. Yeah, I'll see what I can dig up.
Oh, thank you. I'll give her a hug, and then look over to the little ones and say, hey, you two better be treating your mother right now. The last thing I want to come back is and hear that you've been being mean to her, all right?
They both kind of like stand up, smile, look at each other, nod, then run off. Oh, children. When are you going to settle down, Vin?
No, I mean, I'll talk to you about that later. I gotta go make sure these guys get their circus figured out. Come on, guys, let's go figure out this circus stuff. I'm gonna say, walking away, very nervous, very obviously like, embarrassed.
Tuxie is going to put on one of the earrings on her ring finger. Well, she doesn't really have a ring finger, but on one of her claws. And as Vin is walking away, she's going to sort of subtly show it to Cersina.
She looks down at it.
I'm going to bluff check.
Oh, you!
Just casual showing from a distance, not too close of a look, but you can tell it's an earring, but something sparkly.
Oh, you little
really?
draconic asshole!
This is hilarious.
Oh, this is great. Oh!
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. Do I have players sense motive that?
I mean, I'm gonna roll a perception to see if I even notice what's going on.
Yeah, I feel like in the first case there should be a sleight of hand from Tuxie. Nah, we'll say it's fine. Go ahead and make a perception check, Vin.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Oh, God.
Can't quite get it. Anybody else want to try it?
I'm not sure what happened. I heard the thing with the ring, but I don't know why it happened. What did Tuxie do?
Cena asked Finn when he's going to settle down and start a family.
So Tuxie's pretending like they're engaged, type of thing.
Oh, okay.
You draconic asshole. I love it, but you draconic asshole.
And she just... Winkle Jimerson,
What?
when were you going to introduce me to... And she points down at the ring that Tuxie is carrying.
I introduced you to Turksy.
But you didn't introduce me.
What are you... yes, I did. What are you talking about?
She takes a
Going
knee to be at
distance
Tuxie's
herself to
height.
get ready for the performance.
You sure know how to pick 'em, don't you, little brother-in-law?
What are you talking about?
She kind of just like... I'll leave it
I'm
to
gonna
you
say-
two.
I'm gonna sense motive her.
Seems to be that she got caught up in a practical joke. She either... Good.
Can I help Tuxie with this and keep the story rolling along and sort of let her know that it's part, don't tell a lot of people, but it's part of the show business. You know, you want all your people to seem like they're available, but that's why we're not making it public. So just, keep it on the very hush. But yeah, it's totally happening.
Bluff check.
Yes.
Oh my god. No! Wait.
Would
But
you like...
I would hear this, I imagine.
Yeah.
I kind of look over to Devon confused and say, well, what the hell are you talking about?
Oh, I know you have to keep it in character, and you shouldn't be, having these type of close relations with someone who you're assigned to protect, because you have to keep things professional and not let the personal get in the way. But who lets love?
I'm gonna kind of look between them all and just kind of look at Trixie and say, look.
Trixie's out the door.
Oh, well, around the wall. I'm just gonna look over to her, look back to Cersina and say, no, they're fucking with me. And I'm gonna look to Devon and say, listen, buddy, would you do me a favor? I actually have somebody out there I care about like that, okay? So please.
Oh, who is this?
Who is this? Enjoy the humor, enjoy the lightheartedness, have a good time.
Oh, piss ants, I say, realizing I let that one slip. Oh. I'm never gonna hear the end of this if I tell you.
No, just humor me, would you?
Well, she's been a good friend of mine for quite some time, and she and I have always been very close. You think you can take a guess?
She kind of just scratches her head. You don't mean smiles? Then she was kind of like...
One thing, Cersina smiles as a boy. Another thing? Seriously?
No, not seriously, but I am a little confused.
Eric over here is munching on some trail rations like it's popcorn and enjoying this drama show.
Okay.
I thought we were supposed to be the actors, but man, this is a great show.
You're not a traveling circus, you're a traveling telenovela.
Yeah,
Seems like it.
If I tell you this, you cannot tell any of my brothers, or my dad, or my mom until I'm ready to tell them myself. Okay?
Yeah, of
You
course.
have to keep this. Oh God. How do I say this?
Do you need a moment? Do you want me to send your...
Okay, here it is. Lively has been teaching me more than just druid.
Oh!
Yeah. So, if you see her, let her know I'm looking for her because I need to talk to her as well. But also, don't.
Of course. Don't worry. If she doesn't come back, you probably have an odd, 500 years. I should get dinner started for the
I
kids.
hate you. I hate you right now.
I know. And
I'm just gonna walk away, red face, just rubbing my hair.
I think I can legally marry you.
Certainly,
Don't.
my brother would be wed in the traditions of Rastal.
Oh my god. Can we go plan this stupid circus already?
Sure,
God,
sure. Of course, I'll see what we have. See what I can throw together for everyone.
Thank you. Goodbye.
If all of you would like to do the planning, if you're going to joust a kobold in a whatever a nobirt is, I imagine out here is as good a place as any. I'll see who's around. You know where to find me.
Of course.
Tuxie is sort of
God's
sitting
above. I didn't
outside
want to tell
waiting.
her that. God's above. God.
So, how did it go?
Well, what? I am actually really pissed at you guys right now because that was really. Oh God, I am such a dumbass. God, let's go plan this stupid. I'm just gonna start walking off like stupid. God, kind of doing that sort of moment.
Hey. Calm down. It's just a joke.
I walk over to Taruxi and say, look, you're nice and everything, but I have someone, and I kind of didn't want to tell everyone yet, and I kind of let it slip that I have someone, and now I'm just yelling at myself for telling. Because I know if she finds out that if I told someone, she's going to tease the ever-living hells out of me. Because she's just a bitch like that. And you can quote me saying that to her, because she knows I will call her a bitch in her face.
Can everyone make a perception check real quick?
Oh, Tommy, don't you fucking dare!
Oh, we're daring.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Do I need to make one too?
Yeah, please. Smiles can't
Come
do.
on, please roll low.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's the third time that's happened. Okay, so Devin probably doesn't see this. Devin's too busy getting ready for the show. But Elric, Smiles probably like Tuxie Ragnar noticed Smiles kind of like perk up a little bit and sniff the air. And Elric and Vin, you turn in a... Oh, what color would they be? I'm not super... We'll say kind of like a lightish brown. Not unlike what like a mountain lion looks like in the part of the world in which I live. Has made its way in past the palisade. And right behind it, his hair is like about the same color as Vin's, but it's starting to gray out a little bit. A couple scars across his face. What looks like at first an oversized quiver of arrows strapped to his back, you realize by the one he's carrying, pointy end facing down, javelins. In fact, is Vin's brother and partner to Cersina, Monroe. And just call my wife what? I don't think I caught that.
Oh, for the love of the gods. Oh, gods above.
Eric puts more of the snacks in his mouth and goes, oh snap!
Hello, Monroe. How are you doing, brother?
Still here. How are you? Still here. How are you?
Having many emotional breakdowns right now.
Oh, why is that? I assume it's because you're strapped to any gestures at the squad behind you.
Yes. Okay. Brother,
That's me.
we need to prepare a wake.
Why?
Carlin is no more.
And like all pretense of I am upset with you because what you just called my partner gets dropped and just what happened? Were you there?
Yes, I was the one that finished him.
You're really poor at explaining things.
You put him to rest. He was
Undead.
Rose eyebrows go up, eyes go wide, and he says nothing. The mountain lion that's following him seems to pick up social cues from Dad, essentially, and just kind of like moves to stand next to him, and the hairs on the back of his neck stand up. He kind of like tail floofs out a little bit.
Now we know where the mowing comes from.
Yes, in this universe, it's not anything but Rose Mountain Lion.
He had forced Oleg to start poisoning people that came to his traveling post so that way he could, or it could consume them. And we confronted it, and I've brought his ashes here. So when I find the rest of the family, we can have a proper wake for him.
Sure. You say Oleg's involved in this?
Don't get me started with Oleg. Bastard. He was basically told by the monster to poison people so that way they would sleep longer, allowing him to essentially just kill them in their sleep.
I see. Coerced
wasn't-
into accessory to murder?
Damnedest part about it all, he even tried to do it to me.
Did you break his neck?
No. Monroe, you know me. You know I'm too merciful. You know I've always been the baby of the family.
You're undoing. What happens when he
Yes.
does it to the next group of travelers?
Well, the monsters are dead, and we've already made it clear that there are several people in my party that are hanging that life debt over his head right now. In fact, the common conception amongst a lot of them is if, once we find someone to replace him, then he shall face for his crimes.
He regards the rest of the party. This lot?
Yeah. So...
Someone to man the trading post.
I suppose that a Verizian caravan would have a good understanding of the terms frontier justice. Fair enough.
Furcinta, I owed Furcinta a favor, but she told me she needed me to go help some noble group out, and let's just say I've bitten off far more than I thought I was biting off.
You don't say.
So how are you? You seem very well. As per usual, stoic and stout as ever.
You want to know how I am? He reaches into his, he's got a backpack on. He takes the backpack off, sets it at his feet, and pulls out what's very obviously the hide of a carcass eater. Lays it out flat. Little bastards have been all over the place.
Are we in the middle of the street?
I wouldn't necessarily call it street so much.
Are there other people around?
Not anyone that's really paying attention.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over to him, kind of like grab his shoulder, kind of like pull his ear close to my mouth and say, "These nobles are not just sightseers. They are here to hunt necromancers.
Yeah.
So that is probably why there is an increase in carrion rats. I've already seen some work firsthand.
Where was this?
I'm going to tell them the crossing and whatnot and explain that all will happen there. And I'm also going to point out the fact that there were runes and whatnot inside Carlin's, body and everything that would imply that someone did that to him. They killed one of our brothers."
He nods.
And I'll kind of like let go at that. Back up a little bit.
Carlin steps into like the group at large and just, we should speak somewhere private.
Wait, Carlin? What?
Or, I said Carl. You said there are a lot of names. I'm as bad at
Monroe.
names as you are.
He
Monroe's
comes
the
back from the
oldest.
dead.
I can pronounce fantasy names, but I screw up names real hard. real
Monroe
hard.
is the easiest one. He's actually like the most normal one.
And that's probably why I screw it up. I can remember all the other fancy high fantasy names. Ro steps into the middle of everybody and just, we should speak somewhere privately.
Here we go again.
He
This
nods.
time, don't pretend to be my fiance. Please.
It is about time you settle down, brother.
Oh my god. I walk away. Like,
You did it to yourself this time.
Yes, okay. I'll round up the rest of the group again and be like, hey, so I'll kind of like walk over to Devon and be like, hey, Devon, can you get the rest of the group? My oldest brother, Monroe, and I'll kind of point to what is very clearly a large, muscular man walking around with several dangerous weapons and a goddamn mountain lion. He wants to talk to us in private. You know, repeat the whole stick and bang.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. All right.
No, what?
And can you please do me a favor? Please. If there's anyone fucking hates pompous assholes in my family, it's my father and then Monroe. And Monroe is the type to happily deck you. And I don't want this to turn into a bloodbath, so please, just please, right now, work with me just a bit to not make this too much. Please. I'm begging you. There, you want it? I'm begging you. Okay?
All you had to do was ask, little buddy. No problems at all.
This has been one of the worst weeks of my life.
Once you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere else to go but up.
Or to the basement. Or to mine until you find the caves of depression. I thought you droids would know very well that hitting rock bottom is just a challenge to go further.
Alright, but we enjoy digging. I don't think you all do.
No.
So the squad is led back to the same convenient corner where you talk to Cersina, and Ro just kind of takes you all in. Just, so you're all here hunting necromancers?
Yes. We are with an organization that specializes in fighting the undead and people who work with them.
Yeah, where do I sign up?
Undead around these parts.
And at this point he pulls out the he'll pull out again. Pulls out, sets down the carcass eater hide. Only these little bastards. Usually they stay underground or in their warrens. They only come out when, well, fresh kills, fresh meat. Entirely too many of them out and about now.
That is concerning. We ran into some of them early.
Yeah, they were feasting on a group of undead dwarves who died near the road.
I see.
The weird thing is that we have problems figuring out how they died and how they became undead. It was quite
Is going to sense motive
confusing.
On new guy?
Yep.
He's you look up and then look back down, and the mountain lion that's following him is kind of just standing like right on top of you, and he's standing with like his shoulders are squared, his feet are about shoulder width apart. He's still got a hand on a javelin. He's not ready to attack, but he hasn't relaxed either. And the same is true of his friend, who's just kind of like right up on top of you.
Question,
Yes.
Tommy? Would I know my brother's alignment?
Not mechanically, not in so many words,
Okay.
but he's just as likely to solve his problems by punching somebody in the mouth as he is to bribe them, or if he thinks they're worth a damn, talk about his problems, find some kind of common ground.
Yeah, that is Monroe.
I feel like I'd call
Monroe.
him chaotic neutral.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking based on your description.
Pushing
Yeah,
a,
that's most of the family. Chaotic
Push
neutral.
probably pushes a little towards chaotic evil, but not in the demon lord sense like the Ragongar sense, just without the debauchery bits.
Yeah, that's probably the work of his family that makes him not chaotic evil.
But he definitely thinks he's the strongest person in the room right now. And he looks down just,
He would think he's the second strongest.
behind who?
Jackal.
Well, he's not in the room right now.
Well, okay, if you're talking about, like,
Yeah, no, I
terms of
literally
who's in
mean
the
present
room.
company.
Yes, but if you were talking about the entire hierarchy of the family, Jackal's still number one.
Makes sense. In any case, looks down at
How does he
Tuxie.
smell?
Not the best. And he looks at you, and he looks at his mouth, and the dagger's hungry. Smiles.
Didn't you just come out of the forest? Or didn't you have to meet then?
No, my
Oh,
friend. When we're out there, we're working. We eat when we're camping or when we're home.
Mm.
So if Mountain Lion is sort of giving angry looks to Tuxie, then No Beard will sort of walk up on her side and get in front of her to put space between her and the Mountain Lion. So in case we need to have like a Pokemon battle here, I'm ready to.
Tuxie will sort of push No Beard aside, take out. What sort of rations do we have? Would we have fish?
Well, we picked up some rations from the dwarf,
Salted meat.
so
I'll
Salted
I'll
fish.
also kind of like look to Monroe and say, "Hey, knock that off."
Tuxie will give the lion a little bit of salted fish.
And
just be careful that it doesn't take your fingers with it.
it kind of looks at the food, sniffs at it. It doesn't break eye contact. Tail does a swoosh swoosh. I imagine a mountain lion and a house cat probably operate roughly the same. I know, Achilles. 1 meow, you want to eat it. 2 meows, you want to kill Emmy.
If you
There's
ever
also the
seen
fact that
videos
there's-
of lions and tigers, they act astonishingly similar to house cats.
Actually,
There's also no way in hell that Dagger is like not used to children and stuff since Monroe's a father.
fun fact, actually, I had a friend in high school who had a lot of exotic pets. The TLDR is when his dad died, the life insurance was real good, and his family blew it on like emus and there was wallabies, baboons. I'm 110% not joking. This was a real thing that happened, and had a pet mountain lion. And Dagger
What?
sniffs the food. I swear to God, if I'm lying, I'm dying. There's a foo 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 for the tail.
Oh, there is a lion.
Shush. Takes the food. And my brother tells me Oleg tried to do you in. What are we doing about that?
Well, I want to get justice done as soon as possible. So I have some connections. My brother is currently staying over in Califas, and he's a merchant himself, built up a merchant company. So I intended, now that we are here, to write him a letter and ask if he can do me a favor and send someone over to maybe take over the post so that we can deliver justice to Oleg.
So you say justice. Do you mean we're taking him back to town? Or do you mean... And he lets the sentence drop there.
That's a good question.
Minion.
I mean, it would probably be. I don't know if I want to get the townspeople involved. I mean, probably it would be the right thing to do to bring him here for a public trial. But at the same time,
But if
I don't want to know if I want to drag all the townspeople into it.
I'll
If
stop
we
you here and
tell them about his crimes, it might cause panic.
El,
But it
Let
could
me-
also help find his victims.
I think my
Albert?
Or
brother.
the families of them.
I think my brother is
Guys.
trying to speak.
yeah, let me just speak for the two of us that are locals. They're gonna string him up like an animal and have him torn between multiple horses.
Justice.
This is raw frontier justice. They aren't going to get hell. He's not going to get a fair trial. I can assure you.
So this is the execution then.
Yes, no, it will essentially just be a public beating and execution.
Sounds like a fun Sunday.
I'll glance over to Monroe at that.
He's just smiling ear to ear. I like this one. I don't normally like you rich boy types, but you, I like you. Want me to go get him?
With that, like Devin is full of like pride and joy because all he wants is for everyone to like him. So now that somebody else likes him, he's like, okay, so now he's happy that somebody likes him, and it gives him self-worth because he cares so little about himself. Now that other people like him, he can like himself.
Oof.
Yeah, I think we all felt that one in our hearts a lot.
Yeah.
Too
Hitting
real.
a bit
Too real.
Yeah, hitting a bit too close to home.
All of us are just holding our hearts in pain and sorrow now.
Sorry now.
Classic Jeff. Well, do you want me to go fetch him or no?
I do think Elric has a point of at least waiting until we have someone to manage his job. You know,
But
many
what
people rely upon his trading post for supplies around here.
And if you're hunting necromancers, people will notice if he's missing. Especially if whatever the hell happened to Carlin sounds at least somewhat connected.
Oh, it's
we are
connected.
forgetting about his wife. What about
Yeah.
her?
The thing is that, at least, I don't know how the others think about it, but I fear that they might have, like, informants placed certain places, so we don't want to get the information out that we are actually hunting necromancers and the undead. That's why I wanted to keep it a secret when we, replace Oleg and what he did.
To be fair, I think that's where me and my brother and my family can come into play. We have a lot of sway in these towns and whatnot because of the work of our father and Monroe himself and our other siblings. These people know and trust us, and if we tell them what happened about him essentially helping a monster feed on people, they won't ask more questions than that. We can get him executed with very little trouble. Hell, Monroe here will do the job for us.
Honest day's
Hey,
work.
now that would be getting in the way of my job now, wouldn't it?
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Your
I'm an
job?
executioner.
No, Yora looks you up and down. You're pretending to be a traveling performer, when in reality you're a... What? He just kind of scratches his head.
She's an Azamar.
Sure, that makes sense. She looks not like a kobold, but you don't look like an executioner.
Yeah, this one is also strange to me as well. This is the first I've heard of you being an executioner.
It's even stranger how she executes people.
Enlighten me.
She does it with words.
Oh,
I did
You
take
mean-
all of you for the magic type.
Yes.
every single one of them are. They
Respect.
all
I
can,
am a cleric.
they
Yeah.
all can fight.
That much is obvious to me, priest. I digress. If you want me to do something about Oleg, I'll do it. Won't charge for this one. He deserves it. If you're hunting
She certainly
necromancers, they deserve it. Won't charge for that either. And he motions towards all of y'all's stuff. I suppose that's you.
Yep. That's probably it's now 2 wagons. One heavy, one light.
That'll make deep enough tracks out here. I'll keep my eyes out. Stop in at camp. I assume you don't mind. And he turns to Vin.
Yeah,
My
we
presence.
appreciate that.
Of course not, brother. I'm glad to have you around. I'm
Good
more
enough.
so afraid of losing you after Carlin.
Yeah.
The last thing I would have expected was this to hit someone of our clan. These are our woods, and even here, we're not safe.
Wolves fight over territory all the time. Makes sense to me.
Well, these aren't so much wolves as they are rabid dogs. Let's not give them too much credit.
He smiles.
Tuxie smiles back.
I need to go talk to my wife. Things have been rough the past couple days. Should check in.
She seemed to be doing all right.
Yeah.
And the little ones
before-
are excited for the little show they're going to be putting on this evening. So
Yeah, before you go, could you tell me where I need to go to hand someone a letter to be sent from here?
From here? Give it to anyone.
Yeah.
There's no one to send it here. My wife wanted to set this place up. Refuge for traders. Refuge for hunters. Some people choose to live here. There's not a lot of trade or travel in the grand scales you're thinking. If you want, I could
Do you
go to
have
Rostov.
something? Do you maybe have like trained birds here or something that can
No.
deliver mail? God dang it! I thought that maybe druids and rangers would be able to set something like that up.
druids and rangers
They
just
have-
walk through the forest and hunt and find their people they want to talk to.
Precisely.
Yeah.
We don't send letters. We find one another.
If you want, I can run it back to Rostov. I'm basically as fast as the horses out here. I mean, I'm not watching you for a little while, but certain I could find you again.
Is Rostov the closest place to here?
Rostov is the closest major city in the region, yes.
Yeah, I mean, he probably wouldn't need to get to a major city. Like any city from where he could send a letter would probably be enough, I guess.
I guess I should be more clear. There are no cities that aren't Rostov. This is a town of like 20. This is little tiny village
Yeah.
in the woods, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I meant like if there's like a normal city before he would arrive at Rostov.
No,
There is not.
Okay. Yeah.
Rostov is the closest.
Yeah. Then I would probably write him a letter. I have my signet ring with me, so I will punch that into the wax so that my brother can verify that it's from me. Probably also drop in some messages in there to verify that it's from me, because we want to make sure that no one is like pretending to be someone from the Alma family.
Makes sense. This one I'll run for free too, but if you want an errand boy, that's going to cost you. Now, if the would-be performers need to actually perform, give you your space to do so. Want to go see my children. Apologize to my wife. And with that, we're calling it for the night there.
Oh, wait, before he goes away, I'm going to say, oh, by the way, little Jefferson is looking more and more like you every day, and it's scary.
Of course he is. He smiles a little bit at this. And I guess we're going to have some performance stuff next time. That should be. I guess I have to learn how the verbal duels work a little faster. Fair enough, but good. Y'all leveled to level 2. Y'all can go ahead.
Woohoo!
Man, y'all are so stoked about it. I've never heard someone be. I guess y'all are really happy for that extra D6. Fair enough for
I
me.
survived!
You survived. And thank y'all for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. I'm going to feed my cat and go to bed. We'll see you next time. Say bye, y'all.
Same.
Bye!
Bye.
Bye.